It's, you know, the
Okay.
script's basically like, hey, I know it's not going to work for a cash deal. Would you guys be open to seller finance? Yeah, we might be open to that. All right, I just got a few questions and I can get back to you on it. And then really what you could do is, without any real knowledge on creative finance, just ask them those questions, and then you can come on these Zooms and be like, Eric, I got this person, they're open to doing seller finance. How should we piece it together? And just like over time of you doing that, you'll start to pick up more and more of just like all the angles and all the different
Yeah.
things you can do with that.
Okay, it's definitely a learning process for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But check out the script and you'll see how simple that is, just to go from wholesale to then pivot into creative finance.
Where I think I'm looking right now. What tab is that in? Is that in the general chat?
Some people just don't see every channel. Do you see what's on my screen?
See, yeah.
Or anybody that's new, just make sure you guys see all these channels. So it would be under resources in scripts.
Resource. Oh, okay, I don't have that tab.
Anybody remember that fix? Somebody was saying the other week that you go to the top, and then I think
right click on the server at the top and then show all channels.
And then go to where?
No, you already have it highlighted. Show all channels.
Down
right.
two more. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I see it all. Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, check out the script, and you'll kind of see how easy it is to kind of float into it. And then if they ask you questions like, "Oh, I don't know, like how does that work?" or "What if this happens?" you could just always reference me as your partner, right? So like, I'm not sure. You know, if you don't have the answer to something, it's just I'm not sure. I'd have to ask my partner, and then boom, just hop on a Zoom and I'll help you out.
Okay.
And I'd say that's probably the best way to go about getting into the creative finance as you're doing the wholesale.
Okay, I actually have a lead that I want to make an offer on by tomorrow. If we could like maybe dissect it.
Yeah, we could check it out. We're gonna do. I guess we could do a little bit of Q&A for like 10 minutes while people trickle in. We're gonna spend a lot of time on some topics, and then at the end we should have some deal help.
Okay,
So
perfect.
just so you know, Sam, everybody that's new, Thursdays I try and do a deep dive on topics. All the other Zooms throughout the week, it's just like deal help, Q&A.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Anybody else new have any issues getting in the course or the community? Everybody good?
So what now?
It's for everybody that's new. You're good, Jason.
Oh, got you.
All right. You guys have any questions before we get into the topic? Any general questions?
Yes, sir. It's me, Miguel. Migs under TikTok. Yeah, looked up a deal here in McAllen, Texas, I believe.
Yeah, what's up, Miguel? Let me throw that to you. Let me pull that up. That was Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see. We ended up going a little ways away. We're in San Antonio. If that's cool with you.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, sweet. I'll put it in the chat for you. All right, you should see that.
She said she was gonna talk to the owner tomorrow, I believe. So I just hit her with a text tomorrow, right?
Was that the one that we offered 20 down on?
Yes.
Yeah. Hit her with a text tomorrow. See if she got an update. And then Dom, I got you a deal as well, right? Are you with us? I see him here. Let me just throw that in the chat for him. While I'm doing this, anybody else have any other questions? General questions?
Yeah, quick question. Is the WAP site the same as the Discord, or is it different?
Completely different. Are you not in the Discord?
No, I'm in the Discord. It's just that I'm not on the other one.
Oh, which one?
The WAP, the WHOP site.
That's just to like sign up to get access. Like nothing happens on that platform.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yep. All righty. Any other questions you guys got?
Hey, Eric, there's one with Muskegon, Michigan.
Michigan.
We were doing a live earlier about some properties there in Muskegon, but you said you weren't able to find anything. But you told me to try some other methods. You said that one didn't work or something like that. You said.
Oh yeah. We didn't get anything right. It was
Yep.
just
No. Correct. Yep.
a
You
wash.
told me to try some other methods, but what other methods were you thinking of doing?
What I would go to is one. Did you get in the Mastermind V1 course?
Yep. I'm in that. Yep.
I would probably, depending on like how much time you have to give, I would probably start doing the dominating on market. Watch that video. That's hitting the Zillow one day. Are you looking for wholesale or creative?
I mean, anything at the point that
Anything?
yeah, anything that would make some money.
I think if you were able to, if you do the Zillow one day and you could do that consistently within 30, 45 days, that's guaranteed a check. And then if you have like excess time, I would look at some of the backdated stuff on the market too.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
That's what I would do. Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. All right. Let's Dom, let me pull that house, then we'll get into the topic. Dom, that was Florida.
No, Rhode Island.
I think we ended in Massachusetts. Oh, that was all right. I thought that was Dom talking. Dom, you're saying Tampa. This is it then. All right, you should see it in the chat, Dom. It's there for you. I think that one was what, Thursday? She said call her next week, but I said we'll call Tuesday night. All right. Any other questions, I guess, before we get into it? Feeling good?
Just to clarify real quick, you said to go through Zillow 1 days and then backdate it on V1.
That's what I would do. If you guys want to, we could talk on lead gen today as well. If you guys are
For
game
sure.
for that. Let's do that then. We'll spend a little time later. We could talk on lead gen. There's
Right
so
on.
many things we could do. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. So kind of go into the basics that I think a lot of people just don't speak on. So we're going to be talking about spotting opportunity, being really, really effective and efficient with spotting good wholesale opportunity. You know, when it comes to the wholesale, one thing just we should always keep in mind, wholesale deals, they're only going to be done really with like one or two different situations. So, you know, either the seller is going to be in like a distressed situation, so there's pain attached to them. So that could be the home set to go to auction. It's in pre-foreclosure. They have some personal stuff going on and they need money quick. It could be the house got hit from the hurricane and they got nowhere to go. They need to sell it. They need to get the equity out fast, right? So wholesale deals are going to be done with people in a distressed situation. There's pain attached to them. And if it's not that, they're only going to get done when a house can only be sold to an investor, right? So it's a house where, you know, a retail buyer can't pick it up and just live in the thing. It needs a full rehab before anybody could actually live in it. So keep that in mind. Like when we're speaking to people and we're having the conversation on the phone or we're going through stuff on Zillow, keep those two things in mind. The wholesale deals, again, only done with people with pain attached to them, or the house is so beat up that only an investor could pick it up. Any questions on that before we keep going? Does that all make sense? Yeah, feeling good? All right, so good. Question?
No, just agree. Makes sense.
Okay. All right, sweet. So we're gonna do a bunch of different things. Let's jump over to Zillow, since a lot of us are doing stuff on market. And let's just do a little bit of practice just with spotting opportunity, stuff we'd call on, stuff we wouldn't, and then we'll move on. We're gonna cover a lot. So looking at this home that I got pulled up, let's go through the photos and let's determine if just based on the photos, is this something that I'm calling on? Because this, again, like right here, this goes back to exactly what I'm saying. It's either situational based, there's pain attached to the people, or the house is so beat up. So if I'm calling stuff on market, I'm going to call on market listings. I don't know these people's situations. So the only reason I'm going to call a certain home on Zillow is if only an investor could pick it up. Does that make sense? So let's see how good we are with spotting the opportunity. Will we call on this, pass on it? You guys just let me know as we go through. So looking at the outside, looks pretty beat up. Roof looks a little rough. Can't really tell. Let's keep going. Outside, still rough. All right, looking at the inside. Looks like maybe fresh paint. Floors look decent. Let's keep going. I got some spackle on the wall. Maybe some holes in the wall. Up here, if you guys see the vent, maybe some black mold or dust. Can't really tell.
Needs some work, not enough to do a wholesale deal with.
Yeah, rooms half painted. Kitchens, like, I mean, it's definitely dated. It's not 2024 standard, but it's also not brand new. So, like, based on these photos, bathroom 2, dated. So, I mean, it's livable. Somebody could definitely buy it and live in it, work on it little by little, but it's also, it's not falling apart. So, based on like these photos and what we're seeing, is this something you guys would call on or pass?
Pass.
Sean says pass. Any other opinions?
Call.
Call. All right, Jason saying call too. This is this one's like on the border, so I would call something like this, but it's teetering. So the big thing is kind of the way I would flow with all market deals or all market lead gem. I would start with like the stuff that can't be lived in, right? So more beat up stuff than this, and then once I exhaust all those efforts on the extremely distressed pieces, then I'll circle back. I'll start hitting stuff that's livable, but it could also use like complete renovation. Does that make sense? So exhaust efforts on the super beat up stuff, and once you finish all that, then circle back and rip the stuff that's on the border. 50-50 could kind of get lived in, but could also use a full reno. Making sense? Any questions so far? All right, let's do just a few more examples. See if we can find something a little more beat up. Let's see. All right, how about something like this? Let's go through the photos. Bunch of crap on the outside. Looks like maybe somebody's living in here. Bathroom obviously needs updates. Both bathrooms. The floor is so, right? I mean, it's like, looks like linoleum. So maybe change the floors in here. Obviously, we're going to spackle, paint. All right, what do you guys think? Call on this one or pass? Based on what we're seeing.
Pass.
I concur.
I'd pass on this. Yeah, I'm the same way as the last one. So I'd pass on this one starting out, try and find more beat up stuff. And then on my second round, then I give them a call. Yep. Let's see if we can do one more. How about this guy? 262 is what they want. Let's go through them. Kitchen's dated. New appliances, though. What do you guys think?
Looks like it's on the same boat, so pass.
Yep. Yeah, all three so far, right? All three. Pass on them, exhaust efforts, and then swing back to them. How about this one? No photos of the inside, only outside photos. I guess there was a few inside. Let's go through them. All right, so outside looks a little rough. Definitely some landscape. All right, as far as the inside goes,
That one I would call on. That one needs enough work.
Yeah, I probably ripped this one. It almost looks too like they tried to flip it, but had no idea what they were doing.
Well, the roof is in really, really poor condition.
Yeah, this thing's rough. The floors aren't cut right. The kitchen, you could tell it's like new cabinets, new countertop, new sink. Just maybe not. Maybe this is second kitchen.
And some of the windows look new.
Looks like there's maybe two kitchens in here. So it looks like maybe they tried. Same in the bathroom. Looks like newer tile. Looks like they didn't even grout it though. So it looks like they tried to do some work on this. Who knows when? But it's in need of quite a bit of repair. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Sean. I'd call on this one. It's just really crappy. So this all kind of making sense. Like we want to call on the extremely beat up stuff that really is only geared towards an investor picking it up. Exhaust efforts on that. Circle back, and then we'll call some of the stuff that's iffy too. When I say stuff that's iffy, that would also put homes that are dated but in really good shape. So just picture like a home from, I don't know, like the early 90s or something like that, or later, right? 70s, 80s, but it's in like pristine condition. I mean, like they really kept, they kept up with it. They took care of what they got. So even stuff like that, I would call on too. So definitely could be lived in. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's just completely dated. Again, I would also call that after exhausting the efforts on everything real distressed. Any questions on this? Are we feeling good so far? Feeling good?
The more work it needs, the more wiggle room and negotiation power you have.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty.
Can you just go over your filters real quick? Like, real quick. You got it?
We'll talk on lead gen and a little later. This is just like spotting the opportunity. So this is just like looking at random stuff on here.
Okay. I'll just say for Tampa market, I usually set like 150 floor, 350 ceiling. And then I'll put less than 20,000. It's like half acre lot, less than 3,500 square feet, built or newer than 2005. And typically, if you find anything, and then you set the filter for price lowest to high, it'll give you the 50s the first to call on, and then you work your way up to higher than that. But typically, that's where the best buy box I've seen in Tampa, and that's just based on like what Terrell's been talking about recently. I don't know if you've seen it, and you know too. It's like that's typically the range where a lot of these guys are at as far as cash buyers and stuff. And there's a lot of like immediate wiggle room.
So me and Terrell, we operate slightly differently. He doesn't blast deals out. He just has pocket buyers. So he's more of like, what's their criteria or what are they more interested in? For me, like I have 900 cash buyers just in the market of Tampa and St. Pete. So I got buyers for like literally everything. I mean, it could be a 2-bedroom shack, 500 square feet, which is like literally what we're looking at, or it could be a $1 million home on the water, and I'll have a buyer for both of those deals. So like if you're disposed, that goes to the importance of the buyers list, why we want hundreds of people on the buyers list, because that allows us to really like scoop up anything. Like if there's money to be made, I'm going to have a buyer for it. Maybe John on the buyers list, he doesn't buy in that area. Maybe Rick, he doesn't buy those homes in that, he doesn't buy 2 bedrooms. He only does 3. But I got somebody out of those 900 people that's going to scoop this thing up. So it's a little different of approach.
Yeah.
So
I was just like trying to figure out what your filters are on that Tampa area. And like just
no filter. If there's money to be made, we'll lock it up. It could be land. It could be a massive industrial building. It doesn't matter.
Sweet. I just think there's like, isn't like 50,000 deals in that area right now?
There's so many. I just locked up one yesterday.
So screen it like narrowed down to like just like 100 at tops. How would you get that? Like
what do you mean 100?
I'd like get down to like, so if you put certain filters in there, I mean,
you mean narrow the list?
Yeah. Because scanning through 50,000 is a long list,
Yeah.
So how many is in that?
There's about, I think, 15,000 in my market, something like that. This is my,
Search that you just had up only resulted with 165 rows, and that's what
Yeah.
Mike is asking about.
yeah, this is the entire market. You'll see, because we got these filters on. Hold on. There's way more than this. That's because we got this price filter. Oops.
I mean, you can scan with a big net. You know, you're just gonna get a lot of stuff.
Here
Lot
it
of-
is. So it's 10,000, right?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like, the only filter I would put on is a price filter on my market to cap and try and get some of the higher end homes, you know, these super nice luxurious properties, get them out of the picture. So if I cap it at like 550, you see how it cuts it in half. We're looking at 6,600 now. This is fine. Like, I would play with this, to be honest with you. The big thing is like, and we'll talk about this a little bit on when we discuss lead gem, but if I'm doing Zillow one day, it only takes it down to 200 that I got to sift through for the day, right? So as time goes on, like, and you can do this consistently, I'm able to look at all 200, and in maybe 3 hours tops, I'm done. I called everything for the day because I'm only seeking out the beat up stuff, right? So I'm just going like this. I'm like, yo, what's beat up? Nope. All right, let's keep going. How about this? Yep, I'll rip them. All right, let's keep going. Keep going. What's beat up? Maybe this guy. Nope, keep going. And I'll just play the game like that. So if you play Zillow one day, you're just you're literally dominating on market real estate, you know, because there's going to be one days that go like that. It's only going to get sold to an investor, and it is at the right price, right? So like, if you could do the Zillow one day and do that consistently, you own the market. You literally own it. You own it. We've done so many deals on market consistently just because we're the first ones to call on them. Now, that doesn't mean we won't go back and hit some of the backdated stuff, but when it comes to like lead gen, always start with the Zillow one day because it's not going to be much. The other thing too is like, this is a lot. I mean, 200. If I go to my market in Pennsylvania, there's maybe like 10 one days. So what is that going to take? 5 minutes for me to look at 10 new deals? And I spend 5 to maybe 30 minutes at most every single day doing the Zillow one day. I own the market. I literally see everything that touches the market, and I'm one of the first people to call on it. And I only got to spend 10 to maybe 30 minutes a day doing that. If you're in like a crazy market, you know, like I am down here, all right, I got 200 results. Maybe it takes me, I don't know, an hour, 3 hours at most if I get like a ton of conversations going. Right. So that's how I play it. Well, we can discuss like the flow and lead gen, like I said, in a little bit, just go deeper into that. But the big thing is like, again, going back to what I said, the first thing I said, wholesale deals are only done with people in a distressed situation, or the house is so beat up, it can only be sold to an investor. We don't know these people's situations on Zillow, so the only thing I can go off of is the condition, right? And that's how I play it. So whatever super beat up, I'm gonna rip, call them.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm just saying, anybody who's like looking at that, if you're like in prospecting in that, I think anybody is just like has a little bit of time and they want to invest this into like maybe getting a deal, probably just stick into that Tampa market where Eric's like heavy, and just like, if you just narrow the search, maybe even less than 200, you could literally just call probably like the first 10 or 15, and you probably get a deal to Eric within an hour.
Yeah, I would say like on top of that, Mike, like out of these 200 results that came back, we'd be lucky if 15 are worth calling on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
You know what I mean? So it's really not much effort to just own the market.
So like what I've noticed lately, like I've seen a lot of these deals where you'll get them for like, they'll be listed for like in the low 2s, right? And then you get on the phone, they're willing to negotiate. You get them down to like the mid 1s. And then with a little light rehab, 20, 30 grand, some of these, you're relisting them at the high 2s, maybe 3s, maybe even past the 3s. And they really just unload at the high 2-3 range. And you're only in it for less than 200 if you negotiate, you know. And that's what I was saying. Like, so the range is literally like the floor is like 150. That filters out all like the trailer homes and stuff. And then like 350 is like the ceiling. And you find anything from 150 to 350, and single family in that area, it typically unloads really quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of money down here, but what I would say is like what you're saying, like definitely applies if you're more niched in your market, not as wide as I am. So like the big thing is like you are right. Like, all right, if I come into like say Gulfport down here, you know, I know the range exactly, literally what you're saying, like 150 to maybe 350, something like that. That's what, you know, investors are scooping it up at. But just being so wide, I can come up to like North St. Pete and the whole freaking neighborhood, everything's 700,000-800,000 or $1 million plus, and there might be a deal where I'm contracting the thing at 600,000, assigning it for 650, and it's got a 900 ARV on it. So I'd say like if you guys are dabbling in my market, just I wouldn't put any restrictions like that. It's kind of like a case by case. But as far as what you're saying, like, yeah, it does apply. Like what you're saying, Mike, I do exactly that in Pennsylvania. Like, yo, we're capped at 250. You know, don't even look at anything over 250. And what you could do though to build off of that, like I did here, right? So I put a max of 550, and that shaved out a lot. So like, all right, I'm looking at maybe some more distressed homes or more of the lower end stuff. But after I exhaust all this, I mean, I can go up to $1 million if I really wanted to start ripping them.
So yeah, no, I get it. And there are huge deals in that 500 plus range when you get really good. I'm just saying, but like anybody starting out, the sweet spot is like that 150, 300. Those typically are easy deals to get in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get really like advanced, those 600-700 that you're talking about, those are huge potential too. I'm just saying, like somebody starting out at 600 or 700 is like a big challenge, right?
I don't know if I'd agree with that. We just had Ryan and Grant. You guys know him, both of them. I don't think they're with us, but one of their guys, he's brand new on their team. First week, he just locked up, I think it was like 600 something thousand multifamily, and they just assigned it within an hour for 50 G's. So I wouldn't say,
it's not wasting your time looking in that 500-600 range.
Not in this market. No, I just contracted a house. It was flooded for 400 yesterday. They took 200 off. They wanted 6. It's on the market for 6. And they're like, yeah, we'll take 400. We need this thing gone. And we had 4 feet of water in it. I'm like, all right, done. Contract for 400.
Yeah. I guess what I was saying is like for anybody starting out, it's kind of overwhelming. You look at 1,000 results and you have to scan through all of it. You know, so I was like, where's the narrowest window for like the sweet spot?
Say it depends on the market. If you're in a big market and thousands come back, 14,000 results come back, then start doing like a price filter on it. Start capping the price. You could also do what Mike's saying, tweaking the bed count, the square footage to get more ideal stuff for your buyers, just to shave down that list some.
Yeah, it's just like nothing over 3,000, no mansions. You don't want anything over 20,000 square foot lot, no ranches. You know, it's just like very specific single family and like 20-year homeowners. So like 2005 is when it was, but like typically that's where I see a lot of the buyers buy box. And like anybody starting out in Tampa, if you want to just get a quick deal, I think you could scan the whole United States, but you might be spending a lot of time just looking through listings, and you might not even strike on one of those, hit like a home run. But I'm just saying and I think for you, anybody starting out, it'll be easy just to give one of these to Eric if you just stick to just the Tampa market. And Eric, you JV, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, and if someone finds you a home run, you could make a quick deal, which is what most people want to do in starting out,
Yeah, I'd say for anybody, exactly what Mike's saying. Anybody that hasn't closed their first deal, like the best thing you could do is just go into a market where somebody is already out, whether that's with me or somebody else in the group or somebody outside of the group, whatever. Somebody that's disposition heavy, because the easiest part about wholesaling is getting the deal. The hardest part is actually selling the deal. until you get a good enough buyers list. And so, like, you know, a lot of wholesalers acquisition focused. Let's get the deal. They contract deals, and then they terminate because they can't actually pull it off. They don't got a buyer for it. So the best thing to do is partner with somebody, or, you know, pick a market where somebody's disposition heavy. I'll just speak on myself, right? So I got 900 buyers in this market. Okay, you're going to start doing, like, all right, I'm going to start doing deals in this market. Like, if you can't dispo your own deal, then you could always fall back on who you know in the market. If I can, I'll hit up Eric, and he could probably bring a buyer, worst case scenario. That way I don't got to terminate it and then, you know, make nothing on it, right? So the best thing you could do is go into a market where you know somebody's disposition heavy. That's really, really important. Or just put the pedal to the metal and build a buyers list. Put in the work to get that beefed up quick. So yeah,
Definitely.
let's.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I think we went pretty in deep on that, bro. We went in depth, so I think we're doing good on lead gen and
Yeah.
prospecting.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like identifying that sweet spot, you know, knowing where to look, knowing how to find it, you know, stuff like that.
Definitely. Let's try let's do another thing then. Ready? So another huge part about wholesaling, being good at wholesaling, is being able to identify if there's an opportunity. And if there's an opportunity, what is the opportunity and when is the opportunity? That's something that lives in my head as a wholesaler. What is the opportunity? When's the opportunity? And that's running through my head while I'm having the conversation with these people. You know, the big thing is when you're on the phone with these sellers and they're telling you about their situation, what's going on, the story with the house, whatever, like, dude, that speaks volumes to being able to identify the opportunity to say it again. Like the important piece with wholesaling to get good is just identifying opportunity fast. I'll tell you guys this real quick. So I don't think a lot of you guys know this, but we have a higher level mastermind that's only private invite. But in that group, it's about building companies. So it's people that are doing deals and they want to scale, build a team, like do exactly what I did in my office, just on their own, you know, having me assist with that. And so with these two guys, you guys know Ryan and Grant, you know, some of you guys are on their team. And with their team or whatever, when they first started that a couple months ago, two of the guys that they hired, they were with them for like 2 months. Oh yeah, we're doing 5 leads a day, 5 new leads, 7 new leads this day. Like, we got 40 daily follow-ups. I got 60 daily follow-ups. Like, we got a ton of work, which is true. They had a ton of work, but there was no opportunity. Those guys literally both quit, Ryan and Grant, after 2 months of not seeing any money. And then I went in there. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, there definitely should have been deals by now. Checks getting dispersed. So I went through their pipeline, and 99% of the leads that they were doing daily follow-ups on, zero opportunity, not even a shot. So it's like, yo, you're doing these daily follow-ups. Yeah, I'm generating leads. I got 5 leads today, but they're all trash. All of them are dead. There's no opportunity. And then you're doing daily follow-ups where there's literally no opportunity. So, like, if you don't get good at spotting opportunity with what we're about to talk about, if you can't get good at spotting the opportunity, I'm telling you, you're going to put in a bunch of work and you ain't going to make any money. And if you do, you're getting lucky. You close one deal, I promise it's going to be another 60, 90 days working full time until you get lucky again and see another check. You know, you're firing with your eyes closed. So the big thing is consciously trying to get better at spotting the opportunity, right? What is the opportunity? When is the opportunity? And that's all based on what are these people telling us, right? So what I want to do with you guys, just real quick, I'm gonna just throw out a couple things situation based, as if I'm a seller, and you guys tell me what you're picking up. Are we sensing low motivation, a lot of motivation? Are we seeing maybe a wholesale deal or creative finance deal based on what's being told to you guys? So let's try that, and you guys could just speak freely. So let's say we come across a seller, and I tell you, it's a rental property, tenant moved out, they beat the thing up, and I don't got any money. I don't got the money to fix it. I just got to sell it. Just based on that, what is that speaking to us? Do we see an opportunity?
Ration.
What do we see?
Money to fix it up. He needs that money.
Yeah, so high motivation, right? And if the house is super beat up, what is the opportunity then?
Less entry fee, more negotiations.
But what's the opportunity? Is it wholesale, creative finance, novation?
Well, you could do so. You could also do creative finance. I don't think nation would work subject to because we don't know about the debt.
Yeah, my head's going wholesale or novation. You first going to wholesale, right? So like, yo,
Yeah.
guy's super motivated, needs a bunch of work. He ain't got the money to do it. This is screaming like, yo, opportunity for wholesale deal. Now let me just mute everybody because somebody's got some background noise coming through. You guys could unmute when you're ready to talk. Let's change the situation. Let's say I tell you, yeah, it's a rental property, tenant moved out, needs a little bit of work. You know, you got to change the carpets and you got to paint it. But I need as much as I can get out of this. So was a rental, vacant, it's a little beat up, and I need as much money as possible. What is this speaking to us? What is this telling us?
They need.
He needs as much as possible. So as far as opportunity goes, are we seeing an opportunity for wholesale? I need as much as I can get. Needs carpet and paint. So not even a big rehab at all. Very, very little. I want top dollar for it. What do we see? Is wholesale an opportunity or no? Not really, right?
Needs the cash, yeah.
Yeah, I need as much money as possible, and the house ain't all that beat up, so probably doesn't have to get sold to an investor. It needs paint and some carpets. So it's not screaming wholesale. My head's going low odds for wholesale, higher odds for seller finance. He wants that good number. We can give him that good number. The other thing too is it was a rental, right? So hey, you can get the cash flow without dealing with tenants and without dealing with the maintenance. So this is like screaming sell, or if anything, this is telling me there's a creative finance opportunity, not really a wholesale, right? Let's see if I can come up with another one. Yeah, Mike, man, we just moved. I can't, I had to move for work. I can't keep paying 2 mortgages. It's freaking eating me up, dude. I got to get rid of this thing quick. What do we see? High motivation, right? What's the opportunity right now? Wholesale, creative. What are we feeling?
If he's got 2 mortgages, probably creative.
Any other opinions? Someone saying sub 2. So what I see in this situation, we just moved. I'm paying 2 freaking mortgages. It's killing me. I need this thing gone like ASAP. I don't want to make another payment on it. So high motivation. So maybe wholesale, right? But we don't know how much equity the guy's got. So this could also maybe, if it's low equity, sub 2, right? So right now I'm seeing opportunity, maybe wholesale, maybe creative finance. You got a lot of equity, then I'm pushing wholesale on him. He's got very little equity. I'm going to push creative finance on him. So like these situations, guys, they speak volumes as to what is the opportunity. Is it wholesale? Is it this, is it creative finance? And then the other question, right, is what is the opportunity? And then when is the opportunity? Let's say I call somebody off market. They're like, yeah, I want to sell the house. We're looking at moving, probably after Christmas. And let's say the house is gutted or needs a lot of work, really beat it. They're living in it, but it's super beat up. Yeah, we're going to be looking to move after Christmas. So what's the opportunity? Wholesaler, creative finance, super beat up.
It's going to be creative.
Super beat up.
Fix and flip.
I'm thinking wholesale, right? House is super beat up. And then it comes down to when. When is the opportunity? I'm ready to sell after Christmas. When is after Christmas? So we got a wholesale opportunity. It's going in my pipeline. It's going in the follow-ups, but it's going to be set months out. So great, I got an opportunity. It's just not for today. It's going to be down the road, right? Now, the other thing, if you catch why my head is pushing away from creative finance is because we said we're moving. Most people, they need the money from the sale of their current home to be able to make that transition, right? So my head's going up away from creative finance, and I'm gravitating towards wholesale. I got a wholesale opportunity. It's just going to be down the road. So the big thing is spotting what is the opportunity and when is the opportunity. That's situational based, right? All right, we're
Wrap. In that situation, like it's till Christmas because it's far out, it'll be easy to wrap and sell.
My
Because
head still, it depends how much money they need to be able to move, right? So just based on this little context that we got, house is beat up, needs a full reno. We're looking at moving Christmas. My head's going to wholesale because it's beat up, and then time frame down the road. And they probably need the money. Maybe creative finance, but we'll explore that, later in the combo.
and like if you have to wrap that to an investor, you say you set them the date. You're like, this is gonna, they're gonna move out after Christmas, right? So you don't have to come into they don't have to buy it until then.
Yeah, you could do that. There's a lot of ways you could do that. Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how you like the wrap structure, like as far as then moving out if it's not already vacant.
Yeah. So like if they needed the money, I've done this a few times. So when a seller needs money to move and I'm doing just like a wholesale deal, they'll get X amount of funds at close and then they'll have a lease back, right? So, hey, we'll close on the property. I'm going to buy it for $100,000. We'll close on it. I'm only going to give you $20,000 so you can move, and I'll give you 3 months to get out of the house. So we close the deal out. I bring all the money to closing. I bring the full 100, but the title company only cuts them a check for 20, and they get 3 months to have that 20 to make that transition. And then once they're out, then they get the rest of the funds.
So it's good for them to know, like if you're on the phone with the owner and they can't move out immediately, it's going to take a couple months. Then you got to remember that there's like a creative opportunity to structure how to incentivize them to move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, hey, how about we close on it? I give you a couple bucks up front so you can make that transition. And then once you move out, then you get the rest of the money. The only thing I'll say is sometimes buyers will get funny. The one that I did, the woman refused, or she took longer to move out and then she wrecked the home, and the buyers were pretty pissed about that. But buyers will still do that. And if that's what it takes to get a deal, then do it. So, yeah.
But typically stay away from the move out later dates.
No, I don't even worry. Or I'll just push it into the future. Hey, we're going to be ready to do something by Christmas, after Christmas. All right, fine. You know what? When one thing you guys got to remember is the money's made in the follow-ups. Like the money is made in the follow-ups. Wholesaling is all about daily follow-ups with my today opportunities, right? But what happens is as I'm doing the lead gen, it's going to get filled up with tomorrow and later date opportunities, whether that's a few weeks down the road, couple months, maybe a year plus. It's out. It's getting pushed out. It's an opportunity. We got a wholesale opportunity, right? So yes, there's an opportunity. We determine what it is, and then it's just a matter of when. And so my pipeline, there's thousands of leads inside of my Podio. A lot of those thousands are whens and later, right? I found an opportunity. I put it in my pipeline, but the follow-up date is set for weeks, months, or years out. And then so what'll happen is as you're consistently lead genning, we capture some of the today opportunities, and then we're also capturing tomorrow opportunities too. And those are getting pushed out. And as you do lead gen consistently over a period of time, those later opportunities will start coming due. Does that make sense? So like, all right, I generated this lead 6 months ago and now I open it up and look at my notes and they're like, oh, wow. All right. Now they're ready to sell in October. Let me give them a ring. Hey, it's Eric. We spoke 6 months ago, seeing if you guys are ready to sell. We'll be ready to sell probably in another 3. Great. Call them in 3 months. Hey, you guys ready to sell? Yep. Great opportunity right here. Boom. I'm right here to grab it. Right. So the pipeline's filling up with now opportunity, but also stuff in the future. Any opportunity. It goes in there, and then it's just a matter of when's the opportunity. So keep in mind too, that leads me to say, if I pull a house on market and it's so beat up that only an investor could pick it up, say it's like completely gutted, it's only geared towards an investor. Say I make them a cash offer and they're like, absolutely not, go away, don't ever call us again. That's still an opportunity. It's just a matter of when. That person can only sell it to an investor. It's only going to sell to an investor. The house is gutted. So he's not willing to take that massive haircut today, but eventually he's going to have to if he actually wants to sell it. So sure, I'll still put that in my pipeline because it's only going to get sold to an investor. And I'm just going to keep pushing it out until he finally has that realization like, yo, I'm going to have to sell it for this if I actually want to sell it. Does that all make sense?
Yeah. And so I guess, and I'm just trying to clarify here, like, so if they say that, don't let that prevent you from sending a contract immediately, right? Like, don't like. You should still send the contract as soon as you can.
No, we're gonna
No?
talk. That's what we're about to roll into. This is
Okay.
this is like the highlight.
Thinking like if anybody's like new, they're trying to figure out like when should I send the contract. Should you just optimize for sending it as soon as possible?
Let's talk about that because this is gonna change the game for a lot of you guys in a good way. All right, so I guess before we pivot and we turn a little bit, any other questions on like anything that we discussed so far from anybody?
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground, so.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, ready? So this is gonna be huge for you guys. So let me paint a picture to you guys, right? So as most wholesalers, anybody new, right? All right, I'm gonna start doing some lead gen on Zillow. Cool. I'm calling stuff up. I'm asking, how's the condition? What's going on with it? Okay. And then what happens? You guys say, all right, let me run some numbers and I'll get back to you with an offer. So what do you go and do? You get off that initial phone call. You go, you comp it out. Maybe you wait a day or two so you could ask me for help with the comms. Then you finally call them back and they're like, all right, yeah, I'll ask the seller, see what they say. Then they get back to you or you follow up again. And then you just find out, seller said you're way too low. Seller said, absolutely not. Seller said you got to come up an extra 50 G's, whatever. And you just waste so much time comping the property, then seeking that follow up to get the answer to what you're offering. So what I want you guys to do, this is going to be huge. We're going to hash out if there's an opportunity on that initial phone call, not 3 phone calls from now, right? Is it deal or no deal? We got an opportunity here or not? That's the whole game. That's how we get good at wholesale. Deal or no deal. The faster you can determine that, the more money you're going to make. You're going to be doing consistent deals, right? So what I would recommend, and we're going to role play this a little bit. What I recommend is when you guys are calling on market deals, ask them for their opinion, the agent's opinion. Ask them for their opinion on the after repair value and ask them their opinion on the updates. Or the other way to kind of ask it is like, what is everybody saying it's going to cost to renovate? Or if you're already, if you're good with the repair sheet or you kind of know, then plug in your number for the repairs. But what we're looking to do is run the formula, our cash offer formula, while we're on the initial phone call and spit out our rough ballpark offer. This all making sense? So if I call an agent up, I call this deal up. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, tell me about it, blah, blah, blah. All right. So what real estate agent, what are people saying it's going to cost to fully renovate? I had one guy at 40. The other guy was telling me 50. So probably in that range, 40, 50 grand to update. All right. Awesome. I appreciate that. How much do you think it's going to, or what do you think it's going to be worth fully updated? What do you think you could sell for? Because maybe I'll have you listed. You probably get like 250 for it. All right. So once I get those numbers, I'm either running the numbers while it's all going down and I'm asking these questions, or I put them on a hold. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me see what I could do. And then I come back and I just spit out that ballpark. And what happens is they're going to respond in some way, good or bad. And based on their response, that's what allows us to know if there's an opportunity worth pursuing or we just dead the lead, right? Because you could, I could speak to an agent and I spit out that ballpark. Yeah, agent Sam, I got to be at like 140 to 150. Oh, that's way too low. They're not going to take that. We've had offers higher and they turned them down. So I determined that on the initial phone call, instead of me getting off the initial phone call, comping the property out, then calling them back to spit out my number, and then they just tell me what I could have just discovered in that initial phone call, not having to waste an extra 30 minutes comping it and trying to get them back on the phone to present it. Does this make sense?
Yeah, and you probably want to make sure that you let them know that they still need to comp their numbers to verify the information that the agent gave them, just to make sure that they're on point and it is going to be a cash deal. But like Eric's saying, get the information right there from that first phone call, so that way right off the bat if you're going to be wasting your time comping it out or not.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Sean. So yeah, you're still going to comp the property out on your own, only if we believe or if the agent responds positively, like, yes, there is a current opportunity, right? We're like, all right, let me get a definite exact number for you. I'll get right back to you. but you'll save so much time. So much time is wasted trying to comp these properties out, and there's no deal to be done.
Because ultimately it's a negotiation, right? So like,
yeah, I mean,
kind of going back and forth.
This is so crucial when you're like brand new to do something like this. This whole like flow, I've kind of just came up with it just the other week. The reason kind of behind that is because the 2.5 years of having this group, right, and you guys producing deals, what I've noticed is it is what it is. New people, they're not seeing out of the same lens that an experienced person's seeing, right? So like I had a convo with them and this is what they told me, and can you call them and see what's up? And within a minute of hearing the situation, I know I could already predict deal or no deal. What's the opportunity? When's the opportunity? But when you're brand new to the game, you don't have those skills quite yet. That's something that has to develop over time, but just having a lot of convos, being through a lot of situations. So if you're brand new, I'm telling you, this is going to change the whole game, because you're not going to be filling up your pipeline, your daily follow-ups with a bunch of junk with no opportunity. It's only going to be where the agent kind of confirm, like, yo, there's an opportunity. There's something to be done. Now, you might have to keep going on this a little bit. You might call an agent up and you're like, hey, yeah, so based on what you're telling me, I'd probably have to be at like 140, maybe 150 for a cash deal. They might say, oh, yeah, write it up. But we don't really know if this is still worth chasing yet. They said write it up. They didn't say the seller would take it or they wouldn't take it. So I would go a little further with my questioning. Do you think we got a good shot at getting this deal? Right? Yeah, I think you got a good shot. Great. Let's do it. Write it up. Or I might ask that further question, right? Yeah, I don't know. Just write it up, Eric. All right. Well, let me ask you. Do you think we got a good shot at them taking the deal? Probably not. They turned down offers higher than you. All right. So, and then my second question. So am I wasting my time by doing all this? Probably. All right. I'm not going to waste my time on this. Next, right on to the next phone call. So you just have to take it. Sometimes you're going to have to take it a step further. If you guys want to write this down, these are 2 killer questions. Do you think they're going to take my offer? And then am I wasting my time submitting the offer? If you ask those 2 questions, you should have more than enough clarity if this is worth pursuing or I just pass on it. This is so crucial because I'm telling you, everybody is chasing leads where there's no opportunity in the beginning. And so if you could just hash them out like this, deal, no deal, deal, no deal, just on that initial phone call, not 3 phone calls later, 30 minutes later, a couple days later, if you could hash it out on the initial phone call, you will save so much time. And you'll be effective, right? You'll be efficient and effective, actually doing deals consistently. Because what you got to think about is, guys, we each only have so much time. Some of you guys got kids and multiple jobs, and you're like, yo, I could do 40 minutes every other day, or I could only do an hour on the weekends, right? So it's really, really important that our time is being used in the most efficient way possible. If your pipeline, if that hour that you have to spend, I only could do an hour a day. If that hour is getting spent on absolute no opportunity, you're just going to burn yourself out. You're going to do this for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or 2, and then you're out. You're like, yo, this is stupid. This is too much work. This ain't worth it. Right. So it's about effectively being effective with our time. And that's just being efficient, chasing actual opportunity.
I like the questions that you got. There's 2 questions. That really gets to the heart of it really quick. So if you are like short on time, you get to the bottom of it. Like, am I wasting my time? Just ask the agent,
Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll have a whole lot of agent. Yeah, you're probably wasting your time. All right, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you. Next. And now I don't have to go comp it and try and get him back on the phone and follow up just to get that exact same answer. No, they're not going to take it. It's like, dude, could have found that out on the first phone call. So it just boils down, getting good at wholesale, like really only boils down to how good are you at spotting opportunity. That's it. Because it is a numbers game to a degree, right? It is a numbers game to a degree as far as how many calls we're actually making.
At the end of the day, we're investors, right? So it's like we're asking the agent, wasting their time with this. Just that should be the first question of the script sometimes, It's just, I mean, basically you're trying to get to the bottom of, if you have short time and you're trying to invest, you just want to see if it's an opportunity or not. And you could ask a bunch of questions and try to vet it, but most of the time the agent should be able to tell you it's either a motivated seller or it's not, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, to a degree. Hmm.
And so you're just trying to get to the bottom. If that seller's really motivated to do a deal, it's just like, what's the number kind of thing, right?
What's my number, right? So again, like we're avoiding having to comp properties out to present the offer to then get an answer. I want the answer now. So I'm not going to waste time comping. I'm just going to ask them, yo, what do you think it's worth all fixed up? You probably get 380 for it. All right. What are people saying it's going to cost to update? Probably 60,000. All right. Hold on one second. Let me run some numbers. Let me see where I'm at. Agent, I'm probably like 120, 130. Absolutely not. They're not going to take that. All right. Thank you. Next phone call. Or, all right. Yeah. Write it up. All right. What, I mean, do you think they'll take it? Yeah, maybe. All right, so I'm not wasting my time. No, you got a good shot. All right, let's do it. Let's pursue it. So ask them for their numbers, run them on the phone, and just spit out that number while you got them. And I'm telling you, you're going to be moving way more efficiently. This is huge, guys. Huge. This would have saved me so much time when I was brand new. Any questions on any of this? This is really, really important. All makes sense. All right.
Just try to get the agent to spit the number out. Just try to get the agent to spit their rock bottom.
Well, no. Agent spitting out ARV and updates, and then we're running numbers based on those numbers.
Okay.
We're running the formula based on that and spitting out our ballpark and seeing how they respond to the ballpark.
Okay. Yeah.
Then you can go ahead and comp it once you guys have decided that you're going to go ahead and send that offer. And before you actually go to close, you renegotiate based on what you come up with your numbers and the rehab and such.
Yeah.
Right. And like the trick, I like your trick where you just tell the agent, send me the contract, send me your in-state contract, because the agent has to understand where you're at in the number wise, right? Like you request the agent to send you their contract.
You can actually just have ChatGPT write you up a letter of intent with 2 signature lines at the bottom, and that's just good enough to get you in and going to lock it up.
Yeah, I would though. I like that, Sean. I would my recommendation would be to have the agent just make a verbal, unless they're not willing to. So like, yeah, call the seller, call me back, let me know what he says. If based on their response, yeah, they might take that. All right, call him, see if he'll do it. If he does, we'll put it on paper. So just a speed, like next. That's what the whole game is about, to be doing consistent deals, And so now you're moving fast, but you're also being very effective. It's not, oh yeah, I generated 10 leads today, and 9 of them are trash. You know what I mean? So just efficiency.
Just as soon as you get on the phone, I got 2 questions for you. Am I wasting my time? And can you send me the contract? Right?
Let's role play this real quick. Ryan, you're in the chat. Are you free to talk or no?
Yeah.
This is the Ryan guys with the team, with the story I was just telling you about with those 2 guys. Ryan, I was just telling him how I forget, Aldrin and the other dude, how they joined you. They were with you for like, what, a month or 2? And then I chimed in. I'm like, what is going on? Why are they not doing deals? And we just see the pipelines fill with trash.
Yeah.
And this, Ryan, this too, like changed your team a lot too, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Up the leads per day production and also the efficiency. Then we're not wasting our time. I think I kind of jumped in on the tail end of it, but it's all about efficiency and just getting through all these leads, especially if you're in a market like Florida. There's so much opportunity. It doesn't even make sense to waste time with, and holding on to stuff that won't convert.
Yeah, for real. All right. Are you down to just be the example?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like we did with the team this morning?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Yeah, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? So, yeah, it's a rental property. Speed up, tenant moved out. They just want it gone, dude. Want it gone.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I completely get it. I mean, y'all are asking that 300. I mean, what do you think this could go for after we fix it up?
I was thinking you probably get maybe like 6 for it.
6? Okay, I got you. And based on your experience, how much do you think this needs in work to get it up to that ARV?
Most people are coming in around like that $40,000-$50,000 budget, right up in there.
Okay, I got you. So let me run some numbers real quick. I mean, I'm probably going to be in the neighborhood of 340 to 360. You think there's any chance of getting that done?
That's way too low. He turned down offers higher than that. So
Okay.
boom, guys, just like that. Move on next. And prior to this, what's going on? All right, yeah, let me run some numbers. I'll get back to you. Then Ryan spends what, freaking 15, 20 minutes comping it out just to call him back and get that same answer. You save a lot of time, dude, a lot. Now, the big thing, though, is with this, some of these agents are going to tell you, I don't know, I'm not a contractor. I don't know what it's going to cost to rehab. So, like, in that situation, ask what other people are guesstimating it at, right? Like, well, what are other people saying? Or what I would also recommend, print out the repair calculator, right? Print out those sheets that you guys have in the Discord. And that's so easy to use. Takes 2 seconds to come up with the updates. Is it light, average, heavy? What's the square footage? And it's going to tell you exactly what the updates are going to be. So you guys could use the sheet or ask for their opinion. And that's it. Just run those numbers. And if you can't do it on the fly, maybe you're new and you're a little nervous still or whatever, totally normal, then just put them on a hold. Hey, all right, hold on 1 second. Let me see where I'm at. Take a minute, run the numbers, and then spit it out. Yeah, I had Jason said he had an agent laugh at me. That's what inspections are for. That sounds just like an arrogant agent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if an agent doesn't know their stuff, then that's more of an opportunity, right?
Could be, or they're just so arrogant that no, it's worth what we're listing it for. And it's like, dude, no, it's not. But it could go either way. So, any questions on any of this? Because this is huge, huge, huge. Anything? Are we all feeling good? Ricky, no, I ain't saved that recording. Nope. All right. Anybody else want to role play that? No. All right. Are we feeling good? All right. The other thing I wanted to do with you guys, I saw some of you guys asking in the chat. I think it was Miguel. Anybody looking at role play today? Just practice negotiating these deals, asking the right questions, anything like that. Anybody down for a little bit of role play? Come on, guys, don't be shy.
I mean, I'll give it a shot. Like
The role play, guys, I'll tell you this: the role play will change your entire game completely. The big thing is, like, when you role play consistently, you're getting better at picking up on different situations, other things you're spotting out to you. You're starting to recognize patterns in certain conversations. And then you're just getting better at negotiating too, right? Getting those closing pieces rehearsed, and just seeing a bunch of stuff too. I would say, I'll be honest with you guys, role play is one of the most slept on things in the wholesale space, period. It's something I neglected for years. I've been doing it 10 years. Neglected role play for about 7 of those years. Just didn't do it. I'm like, no, it's just about calling the right person and getting lucky and finding that actual house. I'm telling you, when I leaned into the role play and I did it every single day for a year and a half straight, 1 hour every single day, I'd say about 8 months to a year, that's when I noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, everything's different. That's when calls got fun. And that's when I realized, like, I'm starting to realize, like, damn, bro, like, just because I said that piece, or I'm able to identify what led to the close, like what actually got the deal done. Too many people, guys, stumble upon a close. They're like, yo, it closed, but you don't even know why it closed. What actually made that deal close? Was it something you said, something you did, something you offered? Was it the way you spoke to them? Was it a story you told them? Right. So when you role play daily and you start implementing a lot of this stuff, you'll start to pick up on these patterns and identifying what was the thing that actually got the deal wrapped up. What made this person say yes? Right. So the role play is huge, man. We just to really paint the picture, we spend 56,000 with Cardone University for our sales team in the office. And their whole claim with that program is it'll take your sales team and it'll drive a 30% increase in sales, which sounds like, I don't know about that. That sounds a bit much. And I kid you not, guys, it was at least 30% increase in sales on the sales team. Everyday people, just no experience. I'm just joining the team and like, bro, they're killing it. Massive increase. So definitely don't sleep on it. This is something I would do daily. Who's ready to give it a go? Come on.
I'll just say like Cardone thing, like any new technology or any new like technique usually typically adds about 30% productivity.
It changed the game. I'm telling you, we went from people in the office 2 months, no deal, 3 months, no deal. And then boom, next thing you know, they're doing a couple deals every single month because they're asking the hard questions. They're hitting the closing pieces. They're doing the negotiation strategies. It's insane.
Sorry, I'm actually pretty new, but is there any type of script that we should go through?
We do have a script if you want to pull it up. If you wanted to role play, Jason, I could pull it for you.
Okay.
You want to give it a go, man?
Yeah, I'll try it. Like I said, I've never done this. This is all new to me.
No, that's perfect. Perfect. All right, I'll pull it up. How new are we talking? Like, have you made any phone calls or no?
No, I haven't made a single phone call. This is like, I just saw you on TikTok. I hopped on and then I've been.
Cool, man. Cool. All right, let's start with a real basic cold call script. This is super easy. So you'll kill it. So initial phone call, we're just literally just going to ask questions. That's it. Ask questions, get answers, and all right, we'll get back to you. All right, so let's run through the questions and then we'll take it up a notch. So let's pretend it's off market. You're just cold calling me out of the blue. Ready?
For sure.
Hello.
Hi, is this Eric?
Yeah, who's this?
Hi, Eric. My name is Jason. I'm actually looking to speak to the. Are you the owner for 123 Banana Street?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's great. Like I said, my name is Jason. I'm a local investor in the area, and I just wanted to see if you would consider selling the property.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, we're actually in talks with a few real estate agents. We're looking to let it go.
Oh, right on, right on. Okay, great. So, beside getting the right price, why else would you consider selling?
We just can't afford it. You know, it's too much. I lost my job 2-3 months ago, and we're falling behind on the mortgage now. We just gotta get it going. We're gonna move in with family for a little bit.
Sorry to hear that. How long have you been at the job?
How long have I been there?
Yeah, how long were you there?
22 years, and then they cut me loose.
22 years. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say if we could agree on a price, would you want to close in a few weeks or a few months?
Right away, man.
Right away. Okay. So you want something as soon as the end of this month?
ASAP. The sooner the better.
Right on. Now, let me ask you this. How is the overall condition of the property? Is it in good shape, bad shape? What would you say?
It's all right. It's in good shape. Nothing wrong with it.
Good shape. Okay. Perfect. Any type of, when was the last time was the home updated?
It's been a while, probably like early 90s, I would say. I mean, we haven't done anything since we bought it. So
early 90s. Okay. No worries. No worries. Let me run some numbers and we'll see if we can make something work. Sounds good?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Eric.
I think the only thing missing on this copy is the price. Asking them how much they want. Jason, man, you're going to be a freaking killer on the phone. You got a lot of confidence. You're smooth talking. That was good, man.
Perfect. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
And now let me break this down just a little bit because these questions give us some context as to the situation and the opportunity, right? So this question right here, right? So, all right. So besides getting the right price, why else are you looking at selling the home? What'll happen is when you guys are doing off-market lead generation, you're going to have people that say, yeah, I want to sell my home for the right price, or yeah, I'll sell my home. And the only reason they want to sell is if they get the magic number they're looking for. That's how the off market game goes.
Right.
And by asking them, hey, besides the right price, why else are you looking at selling? You'll be surprised. A lot of people are going to say, well, I don't want to sell. Well, I'm only selling if I get the right number. I don't want to sell. You call me. And so right there, you could shut the whole thing down. Again, it's about efficiency with the opportunity, deal or no deal, as fast as possible. So if they give us a legitimate reason as to why they want to sell, I'm moving, the tenant moved out, I'm getting old, whatever. They give an actual reason, then okay, it lets us know, hey, this is still worth pursuing a combo with them. If it's, I just want the right price, then pass. And that's going to happen it's going to happen a lot, especially on the off market. This tells us a little bit about the motivation, right? If we can agree on a price, would you want to close in a few weeks or a few months? Right away, man, right away. Highly motivated. Or if I say you want to close in a few weeks, few months, it don't matter to me. I don't care. Low motivation, right? So this is speaking a lot to us. Now, this is important, so pay attention to this one, guys. How is the overall condition of the property? Good shape or bad shape? Now, as anybody that's dabbled in this space, there's a million scripts online, and you'll see people teaching, how is the roof? How is the HVAC? How is the foundation? How is the electric, the plumbing? When's the last time you did the kitchen, the bathroom, how's the yard? Like, bro, they're asking a bunch of questions. And when you're doing lead generation off market, these people don't want to have this conversation with you. You call them out of the blue. They don't even want to talk. You'll be lucky to get like 2-3 minutes out of most of these people. So you're like, you start going on all these questions, you're going to get hung up on. They don't want to have that convo. Don't waste my time. And so what I found to be more effective is ask them. And you do appear, in my opinion, to be a little more of a seasoned person. You appear to be more seasoned when you're not going through all these million questions, every checklist and everything. You sound more legit. So I ask them, yo, how's the overall condition? Is it in good shape or bad shape? Now, pay attention to this. A lot of people are going to say it's in good shape. It could be in good shape, but it can be completely dated. It can be like, yo, the kitchen and bath and everything is from like the 80s. They just took really good care of it. So they're like, yeah, it's in good shape. Nothing wrong with it. But it could use 40,000 in updates. Could definitely use a kitchen update, a bathroom update. Could definitely do the floors. We got to rip off maybe some like wallpaper, whatever. Right. So if they say it's in good shape, you want to, this should really be on the script. But if they say it's in good shape, you want to take it a step further and ask them, oh, actually it is. When was the last time the home was updated? Or the way I like to say it is, when was the last time the kitchen and bathroom were updated?
And Eric hasn't done his since 1990s. So that puts it at about 25 to 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So this will speak volumes, right? Is it in good shape, bad shape? It's in good shape. When was the last time you did the kitchen and the bath? Oh, we haven't done that in 30 years. All right, great. So this is telling me the house could be updated, right? And you don't want to, we don't want to offend these people and be like, yeah, your home looks like crap. I got to put 60 into it. They say it's in good shape. So I'll tell them like, yeah, it is in good shape. You are right. But as an investor, I'm looking to fully update it, bring it to that 2024 standard. If they were to say it's in bad shape, then explore it, right? Yeah, no, it's going to need some work. It's beat up. All right, tell me what's going on with it. You definitely got to do the roof. All right, what else? What else? What else? What else? And I'll start to just keep asking, what else? What else? What else? And then maybe I'll ask them too about some of those main components, right? How's the roof? How's the HVAC, electric and plumbing good? Yeah, that's all fine. All right, cool. But if they say it's in good shape, I've never had somebody tell me it's in good shape and the roof is caving in, or somebody say it's in good shape and the electric shot, right? So most of the time, if they say it's in good shape, those main trades, those main components, they're going to be functional. Everything's good. And really what I'm trying to hear or seek out is the updates, right? There's no photos online. So I want to know, like, trying to paint the picture, like, what's this house look like on the inside? Right. So this kind of the goal with that.
That sounds to me like bargaining chips. Like you're getting a list of things. You kind of like collecting I think so far where I'm at on this is like you're just establishing motivation from the start, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you're going down the list of if it's in good shape or 30-year-old bathroom, you're kind of collecting bargaining chips at that point.
To a degree, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like if you just first identify if they're motivated or not, then you can go down. And if they are like not motivated and you still think it's a good deal and you still kind of want it, maybe you go down the bargaining chip route. But like if they're motivated to dump it, and get rid of it, then a lot of this bargaining chips, like a lot of these good shape, bad shape stuff, it's not really needed if they're really motivated to dump it, you know?
Yeah, this is less about like us getting ammo to negotiate the deal, and I would say it's more so just like trying to understand what is this house, what is the condition of the home. You know, this is more so I could try and hone in on what I think it's going to cost to update it. Right? They tell me the kitchen's old, the bathroom's old, the roof is new, and you know, nothing else has been updated since the 90s. Then I'm like, all right, full renovation. Let me look at my sheet. All right, probably in the ballpark of like 40 G's to update this thing. So
because before close, you're going to inspect it and confirm all that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is like, if they lie about some of the stuff, they're like, I don't know. Yeah, electric's fine, plumbing's fine too. And then I send a buyer there and it's like, yo, half the panels pulled apart. I'm going to call them out and that's going to give me a lot of ammo to renegotiate the deal. Yo, you never told me about this. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Well, I can't give you the 150. I got to be at 140 now. But again, this is really just to get context as to what's going on the inside. What's the condition like of the property?
Yeah, like Sean said, is it in good shape? And they say, yeah. And then the next question is, well, when's the last time updated? And like, I don't know, maybe the 70s. It's like, what's your definition of good shape? You know, it's
well,
like
it could be though, right? A lot of people will say good shape, but it's completely outdated.
Yeah, so it's just like it's in good shape, but it's outdated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And if they have low motivation, Michael, you're probably better off moving on from that or saving that one for later, because if they have low motivation, all you need to do is come down $1 less than what they're expecting, and then it's no deal, no matter how much time you spend on it.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. No, yeah, that's why where I'm at with this is like just establishing motivation as quickly as you can. As soon as you make contact, are you motivated to sell? Yes or no? I mean, that could even be the first question. But I mean, I think that's what I'm getting out of this so far.
Yeah, definitely. Situation and condition speak the most to me, right? So other than the price, why else are you looking at selling? Situation is almost everything. And then condition. Between those two, that is really what's speaking the opportunity to me. If there's an opportunity, what is the opportunity? And I guess when is the opportunity, right? Just always try and answer those questions when you guys are doing lead gen. If there's an opportunity, is it yes or no? Is there something? Maybe. All right. What is it? And then when is it? And just run through those three questions always in your head. And that's just going to, again, help you guys get better, more effective with spotting opportunity. Because what'll happen too is as you guys are making these phone calls and you keep calling and generating these leads and stuff falls apart and something goes through, you're gonna again recognize these patterns of like, all right, I've heard this situation 10 other times. This is how it played out. This is probably how it's gonna play out. I've heard this situation several times. This is normally how that plays out. Right. And then you're developing the ability to predict. That's the best thing, man. I could speak to you want to get to a place like I'm at a place now with all of this where I just within a minute conversation, I know exactly if there's an opportunity, what is the opportunity? What is the opportunity? And that's how you really are good at the game. But it's just repetition, a lot of repetition. All right.
I was just gonna say, like, typically when you find this listing, it'll have a description of where they're at, right? So you won't be calling them.
Well, if this is an off-market,
this is off-market. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Off-market is completely, yeah. So you're going into this blind. You don't know.
You don't even know if they want to sell.
Yeah.
If they say yes, then we're in a combo.
Yep. Got it.
Let me see if I can pull a Zillow on-market script. Anybody have any questions on anything so far?
In the general Discord chat, I posted what Jamil Damji uses to do like adjustments. Like if something has like an extra bedroom or an extra bathroom, y'all should definitely take a look at it and might be able to help y'all.
Sweet. Appreciate that.
I just have something to say, Eric.
Yeah, what's up?
Bro, I followed up with Aubrey and she yeah, the seller found someone else where they can put a bigger down payment. That couple in Hawaii, and I was like, "Oh, Eric was right. She's trying to make more money for herself."
Yeah.
But she said that if she has anything else creatively where she can represent buyers, she can just straight up put it in our pipeline. So,
All right. That's fine then.
but thank you anyway. Like that's free game right there, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I took a lot of notes today. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely.
Hey, Kendrick, you're the one that wanted the Zoom last week, right?
Yeah. What was it, Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked you to message me in Discord. I pinged you, and I haven't gotten a response. Ping me in the Discord, and I'll send it off. I'll need your email.
I thought you said you were going to send it to me there.
Yeah,
I was looking through there, like, where is it?
Drive. It's too big to send in Discord.
Sean Lee, yeah. Is that Sean Lee?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sean Lee. Thank you so much.
No worries.
It looks I'm struggling to find it, guys, but it's just like the other script. Let me pull that back up. I'll just show you. You could pretty much use the exact same one if you're calling on market. The only difference is you're just tweaking these questions a little bit. So if you guys see this, if it's on market, you just tweak them, right? So it's not, hey, I'm looking to speak to the owner of 123 Main Street. If it's an agent, it's, hey, I'm calling about the house on 123 Main Street. Right? We already know they're wanting to sell, so we don't got to tell them, like, would you consider selling? We already know they are. We could ask them why, right? So, I mean, besides the price, agent, why are these people looking to sell the home? So get the situation. We can agree on a price. When would they want to close? How's the overall condition? Now, you're going to see photos on Zillow. So this is going to be another one that gets tweaked. We're really just going to reference the photos. My famous line at this point is just like, I'm looking at the photos, anything wrong with it that I can't see in the pictures. You guys probably all heard me say that a million times. That's like my go-to. So I would just tweak and kind of play it like that. I'm looking at the photos, anything wrong that I can't see. Kill this question. We don't got to ask about updates because we're seeing the photos. How much do you want for the property? Right. So we already see their listing. So tweak it. How much flexibility is there on that price? So it's the same question. It's just kind of like reworded. I'm pretty sure, though, if you guys go in the script channel in the Discord, there's a specific Zillow script. So you don't got to try and like mentally tweak it while you're doing it. Any questions, I guess, on any of this?
So like this is great for like pre-foreclosure lists where it hasn't hit the open market yet.
Yeah, anything off market, this is what I would do. Now, the other thing, too, is I normally won't, especially off market, I'm not going to make an offer on the initial phone call. One, you're speaking to the owner. He doesn't know the ARV, and he's not going to tell you a number for updates. And then, two, like you also want to kind of like build a little rapport, get that going, right? So if I have like one phone call and it's maybe a minute or two, I'm like, all right, let me call you back. Then he has a little bit of time, between those calls to kind of like digest what just happened. And like how he feels about the person he's speaking to. Like, I just spoke to the guy. Sounds like a nice guy. Sounds legit. Yeah, let's see what he says, I guess. So they're able to digest what just happened and then be a little better seated for the next conversation.
I like the way you put it where you're like, sell them that you're the person that needs to alleviate that pain point, whatever it may be. Right.
Yeah, and the other thing too, guys, is like no matter what conversation is, look for opportunity to dig into the situation. It sounds so cliche, but I'm telling you, like deals are done when problems are solved. I've heard that I can't even tell you the first time I heard that. I feel like it's been forever, and I always disregarded that. Like, no, what does that even mean? Like, solve a problem? Like, dude, they just want to sell their house. Until I started like really started role playing and getting into all of this stuff. And so look for an opportunity, right? Nobody sells anything unless there's a problem, period. Nobody's like, burn that into your memory. Nobody sells anything unless they have a problem with it. And a problem might not look the way you think it does, right? You think, oh, the person's got a problem. Okay, pre-foreclosure, house is going to auction. They got some crazy life stuff going on. But that's not always the case, right? I might look at Remember years ago, I looked at a big multifamily building, 400,000 or 500,000, whatever, expensive property. And the only reason the guy wanted to sell it was to level up. I want to go from, say, 5 units to 15 units or whatever the case was. That's the problem. The problem didn't look like pre-foreclosure and some crazy life stuff going on. The problem is he can't get to 15 doors without selling the 5. Problem, you can't get what you want unless you sell this thing. So how do I solve that problem? We work a deal that allows for him to sell it to then get into the bigger thing. And I press on the problem, right? So dig into their situation and make them feel the pain. A lot of people, they're numb to like reality, what's going on. Like so many people hurting today that it's like, yo, they're just like blind to it, numb to it. So like you want to resurface that pain and make them freaking feel it, man. Make them feel how bad their situation is. That way you show them I'm the solution to your problem. You got a problem, make them feel the pain, get their emotions stirred. Dude, I'm the solution. I could solve your problem right now. And that's going to swing them into doing that deal with you, right? So
yeah, you're like, and you say it pretty well. You're like, there's a pain point attached to the property, and like you have to sell them that you're the person who can alleviate. Yeah.
And I'll say though too, Mike, like for everybody, a lot of times solving the problem boils down to your level of creativity. How creative can you get? That comes down more times than not to getting some home run wholesale deals. I've had sellers take way less than other offers. I had an offer at 200, but I'm going to go with Eric's 160 because he's doing X, Y, and Z for me. You know what I mean? So you're able to get deals that you're outbid on just because of the solutions you provide, really. So dig into their situation. If I ask the seller, you know, why else are you, other than the price, why are you looking at selling the home? We're just looking at moving. Okay, why? I'm going to dig into that. Oh, all right, what has you moving? And that might lead to something crazy going on. I have to, this is going on with my kid in Texas and I need to be there like now. It's deeper than just moving. So try and dig into these situations as much as possible and then try and figure out, you know, how to do it. Yeah, look, we can't afford the house. We have to move. And then I ask them a hard question or ask them a question, you know, do you need the money from this sale to move into that next home? Yeah, we do. We don't know how we're going to pull this off. Well, I got an idea. How about we buy your home? I give you enough money to move and I give you a couple months to still stay in the home. That way you can make that transition nice and easy. On top of that, what we do for people is I'll locate that next home for you. I'll try and help you. So the whole plan, seller, is I'll find you your next home. I'll buy your current home. You'll stay in your current home until you buy it. So the whole transition is nice and smooth. You stay in your home. We find the next one. And once we find it, we give you the money. You make that purchase. And then we give you 30 days to move. Or, you know, I'll help you move. You know, stuff like just always think creatively. Like, how can I help somebody out? Help their situation.
And I like sometimes you have to qualify them for, like you're the right fit. You kind of qualify them as like if you're the right fit for them, right?
Yeah, check this, watch this. Jerry, are you with us? Is Jerry here? No, he's not. I wish he was. All right, so yesterday, some of you guys saw me on Instagram Live, and this was a property for Jerry. He's here in the community. It was 4.5 feet of water from the hurricane. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go check it out for you. Anyways, I met the seller there. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They called me last night. They said, Eric, we got an offer 10,000 higher than you. Or that was this morning. I'm pretty sure, I'm asking Jerry, because I'm pretty sure they accepted our cash offer 10,000 less because what I spoke to the seller about. As soon as I left that house and I got back to my house, I started sending new homes to that seller that got flooded. They're living in, I don't know where they're living, in a car, a hotel, whatever. And I told them like, hey, look, you got a bunch of crap. I mean, loads of crap in front of the house. The inside's destroyed. They were going to have cleaners go and clean up the house to try and help sell it. I said, look, I think we'll be able to work a deal. Don't send a cleaner. I know we'll work something out. I'm going to give you guys a great price for the home. Save the money on the cleaner. And they're like, oh my gosh, all right, John, call the cleaner, tell him not to come. I'm like, all right, great. And then so I saved him there, and then I said, look, what are you guys looking for? Are you looking to buy, rent? Where are you looking to go? I'm investing into them. I'm interested in you as a person on the phone. How can I help you? How can I serve you as a person? Oh, you're telling me it's just questions. I'm digging into their situation. Oh, we don't got a place to move. We need a house over here. We're looking at Ocala between 152. As soon as I got home, within 40 minutes of me leaving that property, I'm already texting the woman properties that I found on Zillow that are offering seller finance in her market. Hey, what do you think about this house? Hey, what do you think about this house? Hey, I got a house I could rent to you if you guys need help. Oh my gosh, you're so nice. You're such a blessing. And that is what's going to have them drop 10,000 less than what they're already offered. You guys see, like, is this making sense? Like, you solving problems will lead to way more deals, more than you could even imagine.
They will want.
Let me seek out every problem. Let me try and solve every problem. 2 problems I could identify. You don't want to clean you got to clean your house. Who doesn't want to save money? Don't clean it. You leave whatever you want. Save the few $100 or the $1,000 to get all that trash out of there. Oh, you need a place to move, and they see I'm on it. Boom! I'm sending you property after property. Thank you so much. All right, look, I'm looking. We're gonna get something for you. We're gonna make this better for you guys. Thank you so much. That's how it goes, man. You just seek the problems and look to solve them. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be every lead. It's not going to be every deal. But if you can roll with that mindset and do that consistently, that's going to massively increase your conversion. How many deals are actually getting contracted and going to close? It's huge. I can't even tell you guys how many times New Western, massive franchise down here in Tampa. I cannot even tell you guys how many times they called our office up. How did you guys get that deal? We offer more than you guys. Obviously, I'm not going to tell them. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's because we're doing stuff. Dude, we'll send employees to drive. We've sent employees to drive sellers to doctor's appointments. We've delivered DoorDash. We've sent toilet paper to families that, oh, yeah, we don't got any money. Fine, I'll spend the $20 on DoorDash to send you some toilet paper. Like, whatever it takes, man, to get a deal. You know, when you help people, it's only going to come back, and they're only going to want to do business with you. So just seek the problem, right? So dig into the situation. Why else are you selling? We're looking to move. What has you moving? Where are you moving? Why are you moving? Moving closer to kids. All right, what has you going closer to family? And I'm telling you, it might just lead to discovering some big issue. And you're right there. You're like, yo, I could solve that problem for you.
And those toilet paper prices are going up lately. So
that was a couple of years ago, but yeah.
I think that dock worker strike thing, toilet paper is supposed to go up. You heard about that?
Yeah, everything's going to go up, I'm sure.
Well, I'm just like, if you offer them toilet paper, they might, be more about it because it's going up.
Yeah.
Down with the toilet paper. The paper man.
Eric.
Yeah. Well, what's up, Ricky? You got your hand up?
Yeah, I was wondering, do you have any tricks on being able to get a seller on the phone? Because we do a little bit of text blasting as well, and sometimes they say, "Oh, like, text me your offer," and obviously we want to get them on the phone to build some kind of rapport, to have some leeway. Otherwise, they'll just tell us to kick rocks. Do you have any tricks on that?
You're saying you're doing like SMS campaigns?
We're doing a little bit of it.
All right. When you do SMS campaigns, just like the cold call, you're gonna get a bunch of tire kickers like, yeah, we want to sell, or what's your offer? And they don't really have any motivation to sell. They just want to see what you'd offer.
Right.
To get these people on the phone to like really try and validate it, it comes down to like harassing them. You gotta call every single day, triple call, voicemail, text. Now what you could do though is spit out a super rough number. So if you're like really adamant on getting somebody on the phone, I'll give them my best number on Creative Finance just to get them on the phone.
Right.
So I'll give you max market value and they'll be like, yeah, all right. And boom, right on the phone with me. That ain't my cash offer. Now I could do that on Creative Finance. But
are you specifying that it's seller financing up front, or is that something you kind of reveal to them as you're on the phone?
While I'm on the phone. So I'll text
Okay, gotcha.
Like say I'm calling them. They just will not pick up. I'll just text them the creative. Hey, I could probably do I might be able to pay $250,000 and it's only worth $230,000. They're like, oh my gosh, right on the phone with me. All right, yeah, I got a couple questions for you, just to make sure we're good at that price. So, how's the condition? Okay. Oh, all right. So I'm probably looking at doing 40,000 updates. For cash, I'd have to be or what's your rock bottom? Can you go any lower? And then boom, I'm just right into the normal convo.
Okay, now let's just say they pick up when you're harassing them. What's a good save that will prevent from pissing them off?
Depends how they respond.
Like crazy, like, why the hell are you calling me?
Hey, look, I wanted to give you a cash offer on it. You have 2 seconds?
Okay.
Anybody motivated to sell is going to have a convo with you. The people that aren't motivated to sell, they're the ones that aren't picking up the phone. For the most part. For the most part.
Okay, I'm going to try that because that's been an issue, but I'm going to try just slamming the phones with them. And, as a last ditch effort, I'll hit them with the creative offer.
If the situation's a little different, if you're coming across sellers where, say you're just doing like the initial phone call, like say I'm calling like an auction home, right? It's pre-foreclosure auction. They're getting bombarded by a million people. And a lot of those people, they'll pick up the phone like, yo, what do you want? You want to sell your house? No, stop calling me. I keep getting low ball, blah, blah, blah. Then they hang up, done. And so you gotta kind of finesse and be quick about it. So if I get somebody like that on the phone, you gotta go with a big claim, right? If somebody comes off super hot, I gotta spit out a massive claim to these people to make them shut up and open their ears and listen to what I have to say. So like, look, we keep getting lowballed. I'm going to talk over these people. Look, I guarantee you, I'll give you a number higher than everybody else. I guarantee I'll give you more than what you even want.
Oh,
shuts them up. They're like, damn, all right, here, I'll listen to this guy. The other thing too is like the deliverance, right? Your level of conviction in what you're saying. It's less about what you're saying and more on how it's being said. Most of the wholesalers calling, 99% of wholesalers haven't even done a deal. They just run around with the wholesale title, and they're nervous. It is what it is. That's how everybody brand new is. And so a lot of these people, they're not speaking with a lot of conviction, a lot of confidence in what they're saying. So if you could be that guy that comes in hotter than what the seller is, with a lot of conviction, he's going to listen, because you don't sound like any of these other people that called him. Well, just hear me out, sir. It's like, huh? It's like, just hit him, dude. Like, look, man, I guarantee I'll give you way more than what you even want. Give me 2 seconds of your time. And I'm going right into controlling this conversation. And the big claim is what's going to shut him up. The big claim with a lot of conviction behind it.
I never thought about it like that. You pretty much broke it down to a science as far as like, stronger energy and just hitting them with that bam.
The energy. Real estate is so funny, man. I think a lot of it is psychology, to be honest with you. I think a lot of this real estate game is, and you got to know, right? You got to know when to go in and surpass them with conviction, or be the one that kind of shuts up and takes it for a minute. So it kind of depends. Some people, it's situational based, really. Like some people, it's like, I just know, like, hey man, I shouldn't, just stay cool, just agree with them. Agreement always puts out fires, right? So when somebody's hot, more times than not, I'm looking to agree. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Your price is that's way too low. That's ridiculous. I'm right there with you. I agree with you. What's he going to say to that? I agree with you, dude. Yeah, you're right. And then great, when I go to my selling points, I'm going to surpass my level of conviction. People will, hopefully we're all over the place today, but people will change their mind or gravitate their opinions based on the other person's conviction, right? So Mike might have a belief like, yeah, no, I would like to see 250 from my home. I think it's worked out. But if I could hit my selling points that your home's only worth 220 and my conviction is higher than yours, you're going to gravitate towards me. That's just how it is. That's the universe.
Right, because they're like, man, that's something that they don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I tell you, look how basic this is. Ricky, your home's worth probably like 250 in my opinion. Ricky, man, look, I've done a lot of homework. It's only worth 250, and that's just my opinion. It's only going to be worth 250 at best. Who sounds more believable? Yeah, I think you can get 250, Ricky, somewhere up in there. 250 is top dollar. Did a lot of research. It's only 250. That's it. That's top dollar. It's obvious. Who believes what they're saying more? Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the sellers. If you can deliver your conviction higher on what you believe more than what they believe and what they're saying, then they're going to gravitate towards your opinion.
Right. That conviction. literally tell somebody that their house is about to blow up, but if you sound so serious, they might.
Yeah, try. Everybody should be trying to work on conviction, like for real. It's from the high to low, as you guys maybe are picking up how I just speak at this point. But that I ain't always speak like this. This is just like being conscious and trying to do this on a daily basis. And the conviction, bro, I'm telling you, that is. I don't want to say control, but it's kind of like how you control and manipulate to get your way. To be honest with you, it's like, and you start to, dude, you'll start to pinpoint. It's like, yo, my conviction is what got this person to do whatever, or whatever the case is. So try and keep that in mind. Like, try and work on the conviction piece, speaking with conviction, just even off of the phone. Like, start doing it in your daily life. That's what I started doing, and then it just became natural. And this is just how I normally speak at this point. It's like, yo, this guy is serious, or he really means what he's saying. But it's like, yo, I could be capping the whole time, and just because I speak like this, you believe what I'm telling you. Not that you ever want to lie to people or anything like that. But
I mean, but knowing that it's a tactic, you can also, I guess, recognize when other people are trying to, do the same thing to you.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not one to like run around and start lying and capping to people. It's more about just bringing people to my viewpoint and what I see and what I want somebody to do. Right? That's really what it boils down to. Like, if you have an opinion on what the house is worth and I have an opinion, if my conviction's higher, you're gravitating my way. I'm not gravitating your way.
Some of the best deals I've seen Eric do is like he'll be in the conversation. I mean, I've seen him put the fries in the bag on some of these guys, and like I'll tell you, like the way I look at it, and I think Eric said this before. It's like Eric, when it goes to closing a deal with somebody, he'll like get them to the point where there's like, Eric, have you ever heard him explain his sub 2 deal? And he's like closing on the sub 2 deal, and he goes like down the, like we'll show the seller how there's no way that you'll go in default, and then it'll be the best case scenario for them. I see it like as Eric like builds up this enthusiasm, and he has it, and he like just transfers that enthusiasm over to the seller, and I see that sale. Like, that's the sale process. Like, if you can just build that enthusiasm, and the way Eric does it, he does it like craft masterly, and I think the sale there is like, I think Eric said it before, it's the transfer of that enthusiasm. It's like just being enthusiastic about it, and then like giving over to the seller, and then them kind of seeing your point of view there.
It's exactly what you're saying, dude. It's the belief. Like, they sense that I'm believing what I'm saying so strongly that they're now inheriting that belief for themselves, right? So I'm scared about what happens if Eric doesn't. What happens if the sub 2, the guy don't make the payments on it? But then I hit my selling points with so much conviction that they're now taking on that belief. Like, all right, yeah, man. I mean, I guess if he did default, it wouldn't be that bad. Then we get a house back full of equity.
Doubting themselves and who told them what it was worth.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, all these little things that we're speaking on, they seem so minute, so little, but I'm telling you, like, these little pieces, if you just really implement this stuff, it changes the game. And this is just a lot of the stuff that you're not going to just watch a YouTube video on. It's just going through the motions, really. So try that, Rick. All you guys, man, try to level up the conviction when you're speaking to people. And it's that high to low. That's what has that impact with the conviction. Your house is worth $250. Don't sound too believable. Dude, your house is literally only worth $250. Take it or leave it. It's like, yo, this guy means what he's saying. So really important. All right, guys. I guess any questions? Any other questions?
Ricky, one of the pro tip you gave him like a few pro tips there, at least.
Yeah.
Give him a pro book.
Yeah, guys, anybody that's new, what I would really recommend is you guys should download the Audible Seller Be Sold is the book by Cardone, and then the Closer Survival Guide. And that'll completely change how you see sales. Sales is not to manipulate people, persuade, take advantage of people, whatever. Sales is strictly solving problems. And we're all salespeople. Your whole, what you got to realize is, and the book speaks on this, dude, your entire life, everybody's a salesperson, even a baby, right? Just think of a child. I got a 2-year-old. We go to the store. She's crying for a toy. She's selling me, right? Think of when a kid is screaming and crying on the floor for a piece of candy at checkout. And then the parent gives in. Who just made a sale? The baby. He just sold the parents on getting what he wants because he's that persistent, you know? So everything's a sale, right? Hey, babe, you want to go to the movie or I want to go to dinner? Well, I want to go to the movie. And then, okay, great, we go to the movie. That's a sale. All right, fine, we'll go to dinner. That's a sale. Everything's a sale. It doesn't have to be monetary. Anytime you get your way or somebody else gets theirs, a sale has been made. So you just have to see it that way, man. It's about getting what you want and then everybody benefiting from that.
And really selling them on that win-win like you do. Like if I default, you're the one to make the benefit, you know?
Yeah, it's less about it's about getting what I want through getting that person what they desire. So how do I get Mike what he wants, that way I can get what I want? Especially in the real estate, right? Oh, I'm trying to move. How do I get this person to move into Texas and get this new home, but be able to take 60,000 cash? Do I help them find a new house? Do I do whatever? You know, it's just always about solving the problem and delivering with conviction. That's it.
Closing survival guide is one.
Yeah, we used to. I know you're somewhat new, Mike. We used to do role play once a week, and so we would listen to that book and it was just role play for 2 hours straight. But we'd hit it with that book, and then jump into the role play. That's all. The closure, I'd say. The seller be sold, that's going to completely change your mindset and how you see sales as a whole. Closer survival guide is, I'd say, strictly strategy. So there's like over 100 lines word for word, right? So the do it for me close, I want to think about it 1, think about it 2, I want to think about it 3. And it's just word tracks. If you listen to the Audible, it's just Cardone. All right, think about it close number 1. Seller says they want to think about it. You're going to say blah, 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 blah. All right, think about it close number 2. All right, I want to think about it. You're going to say this. And it's just word tracks. You guys all have the PDF. That's what my team role played on. And it would just, if you can rehearse those pieces little by little, you'll have them. You know, I got 60 something pieces in my head rehearsed at this point, you know, so it's just like, yo, where do I plug this stuff in? So I would really lean into those books. Those are huge. They changed the whole game for me.
It works too. You close the biggest deals with those liners. Like you got a few of them you use. I think one of the best ones I think you got is like, is it the first or last? One of the best ones I think you got is like, is it the first or last time you've lost? You know, you wouldn't.
I've been liking that
Get
one
what
lately.
you
I've been
wouldn't
playing
get
with
first.
that.
Yeah.
No, the
you
first
close-
or the last time you're taking less than what you wanted. Let's just do it. But one thing too, check this out. Since we're just rambling on this topic, when you're when you have these pieces rehearsed, let me say this: there's always a winner and a loser in every single deal. Always. The winner's always going to be who can persist the longest on the phone call, right? If you're unrehearsed, you're an untrained salesperson, and somebody says, let me speak to my spouse, let me give it some thought, call me Thursday, I might have other offers coming in, I'm going to wait a little bit, we're not ready just yet. If you're untrained and you don't have stuff rehearsed, what do? Oh, okay, yeah, all right, I'll call you Thursday. Okay, yeah, think about it. Okay, yeah, speak to your spouse, right? That's what happens. But you're going to end up being the loser. You're not really going to be doing all that many deals, or as many as you could be. If you're a trained salesperson and you lean into this material, you don't run out. I can't run out of stuff to say. Like, that's just where I'm at. Like, you can't, humbly saying it, like, you can't, I can't run out of stuff. It's just too much rehearsed. So, like, you could tell me all you want. You want to think about it. Let me speak to the spouse. I'm not ready. You're too low. Like, I don't run out of stuff to say. I could just go forever. See, the winner's always going to be who could persist the longest on the phone every single time. Every single time. Now, that also leads me to this. When somebody is sold, this is so important. When somebody is sold, they do it. If I believe Mike is giving me a good deal, I pull the trigger, right? So anytime somebody says, I want to wait, I need to speak to my spouse, let me think about it, that tells me you're not sold. This is what I'm about to share is so important, guys. When you're untrained and somebody says, let me think about it, what happens? Okay, fine, think about it. I call you Tuesday, you didn't pick up. I call you Wednesday, you didn't pick up. I call you Thursday, you didn't pick up. I call you Friday, you pick up, and you tell me, yeah, we thought about it, you're too low. It goes back to what we've been talking about this whole time. Efficiency, collapse the timeline to deal or no deal. Yes or no. What is the deal? Yes or no. And so by having the material rehearsed, I could flush down, I can collapse that timeline to get to the yes or no and the opportunity, right? So again, when somebody says, I want to think about it, I got to speak to the spouse, I'm going to wait, they're not sold. So what's the point of giving some time in between just to come to that same answer? So when I hear I want to think, I got to speak to the spouse, that tells me you're not sold on something. My job as a salesperson, where I'm not getting off the phone until I believe you're sold on what I'm telling you. Right? Oh, look, John, I could offer 100,000 for your home. All right, let me speak to my spouse. And then what happens? I call them back. Yeah, my wife said no, that's too low. Or I could have just flushed it out if I had pieces rehearsed. Let me speak to my spouse. What if she says no? We're not going to do the deal. Would she say no to the price or the terms? Probably the price. So what does that tell me? He ain't even speak to his wife. He's not sold on the price. So there ain't no reason for him to go speak to his wife. The guy on the phone is not sold on the price. So I need to stop trying to close the deal, and I need to go back into my selling points as why it is a good price. John, you understand why I'm at the price I'm at, right? Not really. Well, look, man, like we discussed, and I'm right back into my selling points on the price. I don't need to have this. I'm just going to end up in this exact same situation days, if not weeks down the road, when I could have just flushed it out right now. There's an unspoken objection anytime somebody does not buy from you. Just keep that in mind. I want to wait. I got to think about it. I got to speak to the spouse, whatever. If any of that comes out of their mouth, they're not sold, and you're at the mercy. You'd be lucky if they come back and said, all right, yeah, we'll do the deal. Just crunch the timeline, flush the stuff out of them. I want to wait. Look, there's only 3 things you're going to think about. How long you want to wait? 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks? Call me Friday, Eric. Call me Friday. I'm going to give it some thought. Look, no matter how long you think about it, you're left facing 3 questions. Are you happy with the price? No, not really. All right, so there's nothing to wait. There's nothing to even think about. Let's talk about the price, why I'm at the price, and get you to understand why I'm at the price. Does this make sense, man? Like all of this stuff ties into the efficiency, being efficient with this game, and it all boils down to deal or no deal. How good are you at spotting the opportunity? That's listening to the situation, that's handling the objections, flushing out all the concerns. And that's how you really get efficient. And I have a super tight, neat pipeline where it's like, yo, this is all hot opportunity today. And I'm not doing 40 follow-ups and nothing. It's a deal every week. It's multiple contracts as a one-man band when you could do this. This is the difference. All of this that we're discussing is the difference between the one-man band wholesaler that does a deal and then he quits because he couldn't do deal number 2 and fast enough. Versus the guy that's doing consistent deals every single day, if not every, multiple a week or every single day.
If they have an objection, it's because they're not sold.
Yeah, burn that in your head. If they're not telling you yes, it's a 90% chance they're not sold on what you're telling them. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be times that it is appropriate to give them time to wait, to think about it, to speak to the spouse. But that's only going to happen if I felt that I flushed out every objection, I gave them all the selling points. I hit them with everything I got. And they still want to wait, fine. Whatever. But the closing pieces, it's either going to close the deal, or it's going to flush out that unspoken objection.
So it's getting that motivation established.
Yeah, but really like getting them to see I'm trying to sell you on the deal, right?
Yep.
So if you're telling me you want to wait, you're not really sold, because if you were, you'd just buy it. You'd do it.
Because a lot of the time people are just like, they don't want to deal with it. They want to push it off, and they'll come up with an easy objection, maybe. Yeah.
From my experience, man, don't get me wrong, I made good money as a new wholesaler, but I could have made way, way more money if I knew this stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've had sellers say, "Let me speak to my spouse. Let me give it some thought. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'll make a decision." And then they avoid you completely because they don't want to have that confrontation. They don't want to have to address an issue with you. They don't want to have to tell you no on the phone. They want to avoid conflict. They don't want that. So what'll happen is, all right, yeah, let me speak to my wife. Call me Friday. And then I can't get them on the phone for 2 months. I'm calling you every single day. Every single day. I'm triple dialing you. I'm texting you. I'm hitting you on voicemails. And I can't get you back on the phone. And then eventually, days, weeks, maybe a month plus, you finally pick up and you tell me, yeah, my wife said it's too low. You got to come up. I wasted so much time. I could have just flushed it out on the first phone call if I was trained. I'm telling you, if you lean into this stuff, you're making way more money, moving way more efficiently. Jason, I see your question in the chat. They could wait for a year to get the price if they don't understand why we are valuing it at the price we're at. Or were the 3 pillars, price, terms, what? What do you mean by that, Jason? The pillars we spoke about so much.
Sorry, you were just explaining, like, right at the end of the call, that the main 3 objections were price, and then you kind of went off on a small tangent real quick.
Yeah. I would say like that one of the biggest objections really is like the price. I'd say that very few times it's terms. The big thing from what I see is price. Because if it's not price, then it's then when they want to sell. Are they not ready yet? Are they unsure about selling, stuff like that? But if they truly want to sell, most of the time it's coming down to that number, that price. Yeah, the big thing too, last thing I'll say before we wrap this up. Just remember, a lot of this is when deals are getting done, when problems are solved, right? So like when you guys see me call off market stuff, which really ain't too often in here, but when I call off market stuff, it's more of a situational based convo and about their problem and seeing how I could solve it as far as trying to sell them on the deal than me trying to sell them on the comps. So I might talk a little bit, rarely, to be honest. I can't even remember the last time I brought up comps to a seller saying, the comp over here and here. So very few times are the selling points, the comps, and your house needs work. More times than not, it's me talking about their problem, how good it would be to solve the problem, the solutions I could bring to the table to solve that issue. And that's most of my negotiation, trying to persuade them into the price I want to get them at. But most wholesalers, when you're not trained, guys, all these wholesalers, they run right to your house needs updates. The house down the street sold for this much. These people don't want to hear that. They don't care. None of that solves their problem. So it's not that I won't touch on that, but don't let that be your only thing. I'm telling you, you can convert way more deals if it's problem-based. Why are you selling it? Oh, you're moving. Why are you moving? Oh, because you got this issue? How important is it for you to solve this issue? Oh, dude, it's freaking everything. Perfect. Look, this is what we can do to solve this for you. I've had sellers, I want 150 and they really think it's worth 150. And I'm like, dude, I got to be at 100. And house is free and clear. And they're like, yeah, but I want 150. Look, you want to move, right? How bad do you want to get closer to your kids? Pretty important. I mean, dude, we're talking about 50 grand. You'll still get 100 in your pocket, gives you enough money to move, and you'll have plenty of money in savings too. Is it really that important for you to get closer to your kids? Or if the gap is small, say it's a 30, I got to be at 100, they want 130. Dude, are your kids not worth 30 grand? Probably going to be at least 6 months if you're lucky to maybe even come close to 130. Aren't your kids worth more than that? And it's like, I'll push on the pain and like, how important is it to solve the problem? And I'm telling you,
if the gap is really far apart. Like for example, there was a lady who would not do a dime under 250, and I really needed to be at 160.
They're at 250. Wait, say that one more time. They want.
So I needed to be at 160 and she wanted 250. She would not accept a penny less. So when the gap is that huge and she's already being a bit combative, is there any way to finesse this?
In this scenario, she wanted to move to Ohio. She's in Georgia. She wanted to move to Ohio with her children. She's the only one here. And then whenever I would try to push that on her, she just completely get defensive, like, you know.
All right. So the big thing too, this is just a lot. I feel like a lot that we're talking about, but remember, sellers are only at their asking price one of two reasons, right? So it's either logic or emotion. That's how sellers base their price. Logic would be, I want 250,000 because my neighbor's home sold for 250. I want 250 because the real estate agent told me I can get 250, right? That would be a logic as to how they came up with that asking price. But there's also a lot of sellers. The other side is emotion, right? Sellers, I want 250 because I owe 240 and I need that 10 grand to move. I want 250 because I got this medical debt I got to clear. I need 250 because I got this going on in my life, right? So really pay attention and try and identify, why does this person want what they want? Is it situational? Is it logic or emotion? How they base that price? And then that also tells me, guys, how I need to negotiate the deal, right? If somebody says, I want 250, my agent said we will list it for 250. Well, I might actually screenshot some of the comps on Zillow and send it over to you because you're logic based. That's how you came up with your price, off of logic. I'm going to show you homes in your neighborhood nicer than yours for 250. You want 250? Why would I pay 250? I'm going to send you the comp right down the street. It's got a freaking in-ground pool, fully updated house. If that's sold for 250, you're not even close. I'm going to send you those comps. And so that's what I call reverse comps. That's comps at their asking price that are much nicer than their home, right? So I'll send them reverse comps. You want this crazy number? I'm going to show you homes way nicer at that crazy number than yours. And then I'll send them actual comps, homes in their condition that sold for a lot less, like where I want to be, or lower than what my cash offer is. Right. So pay attention. Is it logic or emotion? Now, keep in mind, too, like we've been discussing, it also comes down to when. There's a huge price gap. If that house is probably only going to get sold to an investor, then it comes down to when. All right, she ain't ready to come down 100 grand just yet. I'll follow up in a month. Still not ready? Follow up in another month. You know, because again, is that property only getting sold to an investor? If it is, then it's a waiting game. Yeah, I might not be able to close it today.
Okay. Now let's just assume they're pretty hard on this 250. And they're being very tight-lipped. At that point, we can't really discern whether it's logic or emotion. You have any advice on that besides, playing the waiting game?
The logic and emotion that's always going to come up, that's always going to kind of boil down to their situation, right? But you could also just ask them, look, I get you want 200. How'd you come up with that? You ask them that, it's going to tell you immediately, is it logic or emotion? Well, right. I want 250 because blah, blah, blah. And it's just going to tell you exactly what it is. Logic.
I've had that where they'll be like, let's just say it was 250, right? Well, Miss Seller, how did you come up with that 250? You don't mind me asking. Because that's my price. So they're already being combative. I feel like there's some emotions behind it, whether that's frustration from wholesalers, but I can't figure it out because they're being very tight-lipped. So is this just something we should probably just not spend too much time on, or just follow up and see what happens?
The situation, I think, will speak more volume too, right? As the opportunity. So if they were to say something like that, like 250 is my price, that's just what I want, Ricky. Well, that's just what I want, dude. It's like, all right. I mean, besides getting the right price, why else are you guys looking at selling? And that'll tell me if there's an actual opportunity here and what the opportunity is.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah. You could always try and combat it with logic, right? So just in the script. So seller, man, like I told you, we're picking this thing up as an investment. Even though the home's in good shape, I do got to bring it to that 2024 standards. So I'm probably going to put 40, 50 into it. I think it's probably worth maybe 275 all fixed up. You kind of see where I'm coming at? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I mean, with that math, if I give you that 200 you're looking for, and I put 50 into it, I'm losing money. That's like word for word on the script, literally. Oh, okay. So you're trying to first fight them with the logic, right? I'm showing you like, dude, your price don't work. I give you your price, I lose money. There's no money to be made. So I'll first try and combat that type of person with logic before I try and dig more into the emotion. But again, it might just boil down to a time thing. They're too stubborn on the price right now. But if it's beat up enough and only going to get sold to an investor, I'll keep pushing it out until they come to that realization they're not going to get what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it down. You really simplify that concept to where it's easy to sit back and reflect and see where I messed up at.
Like kind of make them question their own convictions in a way. Because if they're going the logic route, then you could say, well, logically, it doesn't make money.
Yeah, losing. Look, I can't give you 2 because I'll be in it for 250 after rehab, 260 after closing. It's worth 275 fixed up. So after I pay an agent to list it, I lose money on that. I can't do that. How much flexibility do you have on that price?
Yeah.
Keep in mind too, like we've talked about so much with all this negotiation, psychology stuff. It don't mean you're converting every deal. It just means we're increasing our conversion. So don't think like, yo, I'm going to start closing every single person that I speak to. That's not realistic. But you're significantly increasing the deal, how many deals you're doing, right? And one thing to keep in mind too is everything we're speaking on, this all applies to on the dispo side when we're selling a wholesale deal or a creative finance deal, right? We Ryan, I think he hopped out of here, but Ryan had a deal. I think he still has it. 10 units, 10 trailers down here in Florida, and I'm working on the dispo side of things with him on that deal. And we called the buyer up, and buyer's like, "Yeah, man, dude, I got 7 other projects going on. I got nothing else." And a normal wholesaler would have just been like, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever." But I'm working with Ryan. I'm telling him what to say, and we got the guy interested. We turned him from a no to a yes by just asking him hard questions, rehearse stuff. I said, "What would it take for you to buy this thing? What number would you have to see on this deal to say, screw it, I can't pass on this opportunity. I'll buy it. I'll do it. Even though I got 7 projects going on, what is it going to take for you to just pull the trigger and take this thing?" All right, you know what? Let me call. And what it came down to is he didn't have enough money. He needed to sell a few projects before he could make the purchase. So we ended up getting the guy to make a bunch of calls to try and find the money to pick the thing up. I'm like, dude, this is a super hot deal. We got room in the deal. If we can get it for $1 million, will you take it? Yeah, man. Well, I think we could pull this off for you. All right, let me make some calls. Let me see if I can get the money together. So the selling aspect that applies on the dispo as well, not just the acquisition, trying to get the deal. So really, guys, I'm telling you, like everybody ignores this advice, but I'm telling you, if you lean into the role play, you do it consistently, everything's going to change. You're going to be like, you'll look back a year from now, you'll be like, damn, life is a lot different. The business, the operation, the deal flow, you'll notice it. I'm telling you. And this is something I neglected for 7-8 years, and I massively regret it. So don't make the mistake I did. I'm telling you guys, just spend 30 minutes a day trying to get better at the scripts, rehearsing some of the pieces, and everything's going to change.
Hey, real quick, kind of piggybacking off of what Ricky said. What if you're dealing like with an agent and a tight-lipped, arrogant one, kind of like I was touching on earlier, where you can't get much out of them, and basically they're just looking for the price that they're at. How do you kind of wiggle that out of them, or at least get past them to the seller?
Yeah, the agents, they're kind of like a gatekeeper to get like the real answers that we're looking for. So I'd say it truly is like just a completely different conversation. Like everything we spoke about, you guys rarely see because most of the stuff's with agents. So I'd say it's a lot softer, like why are they selling the property? So I get a glimpse as the situation, kind of what's going on. And then I would just take more of an approach like we talked about in the beginning, right? So just get the numbers from them. What do you think it's worth all fixed up? What do you think it's going to cost to update the property? I'm probably around this. What do you think they'll, you think it's worth presenting to them? And then that response too, that'll give a lot of context or more context to the situation. No, that's not going to work because they got a mortgage at this, or that's not going to work because that's not going to give them enough money to move, or whatever, or that's not going to work. All right, why is that not going to work? So I can get more context as to what's going on, kind of through that.
At what point would you go around the agent?
I only go around the agent once they stop doing their job. So if they stop picking up the phone, I don't believe they're actually presenting my offer. Then I'm going around them. But that's, to be honest, it's few and far between. You guys really only see me saying that, like, "Oh, we're cutting this agent out," when somebody's being stupid on a short sale. Most of the time, the agents are fine. Just on a normal wholesale deal.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Any other questions, I guess, before we wrap up?
I had a question on the offer that I was talking about in the beginning.
Yeah, we could do that real quick.
Okay.
Do you want to throw the Zillow link in the chat? This whole topic, guys, we went like way over and covered stuff I wasn't planning on. If you guys want to, so you guys got Zoom with Terrell tomorrow at 11. When I'm back with you guys on Tuesday, let's plan on maybe doing a deep dive into lead gen. If you guys are game for that.
Oh yeah.
All right. That'll be fun.
And I get those 2 books. Sold, Seller Be Sold, and
The Closer Survival Guide.
the Closing Survival Guide.
I'm telling you,
Awesome,
dude, those
bro.
books changed everything. I get the audibles. What I did was I would just play it anytime I'm in the car. So like instead of music, I'm gonna put on Cardone for the whole car ride and just listen to it. And if you just force yourself to do that, I'm telling you, dude, your whole mindset will shift.
I sent it
Really
in
good.
there. Let me see.
Yep. All right, let's take a look. Let me pull it up.
No, it's the one in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know. Wait, I don't know when.
This was just an old one. I
Oh,
have.
I was like, what's coming up?
All right, Northeast 15th Lauderdale. Alrighty. What is it? A condo?
It's a townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
All right. So off market. Where'd the lead come from?
So my VA was calling PropStream
That's right. Okay.
foreclosures. So he basically told me what he said. It's in fair condition. It's 2-bed, 2.5-bath, and then it's owner occupied, but it's had a lot of renovations this year. So like new roof, new cabinets, bathrooms need a little bit of updating, but like it has hurricane windows and all that. And the reason why he just can't pay his mortgage anymore. So he was asking $340, but on PropStream it said that he owes like $285 to $300, but it says on PropStream the estimated mortgage was, I think, $247.
It's probably around that 285, 300. Here, I'll explain this just for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys are looking at data, PropStream, Batch Leads, any of these data sites that are going to be spitting out a mortgage balance, that balance is never, more times than not, it's not going to be accurate. So just to kind of explain some things. So when somebody first gets a mortgage, like when this guy first bought his home, that mortgage that got recorded. So those terms. And, so what the payment is, how much the loan amount is, the interest rate, how long, right, the term.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically all of these platforms, when they give a mortgage estimation, that estimation is based on if everything has been going perfect. So if all the payments have been made. Now that estimation can vary based on a couple things. So that'll be tweaked, right? So he's saying it's higher than what PropStream is telling you because he stopped making the payments, right? So it would have been that number that PropStream showed if he had been making the payments every single month.
Okay.
But because, you understand? You follow me with that? Sam?
Yeah.
Just the last thing too that could also alter what that balance actually is if there's an adjustable rate, right? So if say the rate went up, then less is going to principal, so the balance is getting paid down slower, and that would also change that balance being shown. So no matter what data platform you're on, it's never going to be accurate as far as or 100% accurate as to what that balance actually is.
Okay. So I'm assuming this can't be a cash offer. because
Probably not. Do you have an ARV on it yet or no?
the ARV I comped it out was 407.
Oh, nice. Okay. So
And
four.
that was like on the, I would say on the low side, because I mean I was looking at specific townhomes there. There were some that were on the water in that same neighborhood that just sold for I think 450 or 460, something like that.
We can comp it out. Let's just check it out real quick.
The one that we're working on is like the one on all the way to the right. It's not
Okay.
on the water.
I see what you mean. Okay. Here's 395 all fixed up. Looks like a flip.
Yeah.
Sold last year, so probably worth like low fours today. Yeah, 410 is what I would say ARV's at. Right up in there. So if it was, let's go on the higher, 410 times 0.7 takes us to 287. So we're already basically like wholesale is probably not going to work. Now the opportunity is going to lie in the guy's situation. So do we know if he's looking to walk away with money or is he just trying to get out and not get?
He's trying to get out ASAP. I'm assuming he wants to walk away with a little bit of money.
So what I see is an opportunity, depending on how much money he wants, we might be able to just give him that money. If he's like, I want $5,000, I want 10 grand, we might be able to just give him the 10 and then buy it subject to the mortgage, just take over the loan. So cash him out of his equity, take over the loan, and that'd be a, do you follow me with that?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't really know too much about sub 2, but when I was looking into it, I was like, this has to be a possible sub 2. I just don't know how to structure it.
Do you want me to call him and try and pitch him on it?
Sure. Let me give you his number.
You could just read it off.
Okay. 862 368 7237. My V is actually named Eric, so he was the one that he talked to.
Okay. All right. And then when was that?
That was yesterday. He hasn't answered today. Eric tried to reach back out. He hasn't answered today.
You know the guy's number? Or I'm sorry, what am I saying? Do you know the guy's name?
Gian.
Gian?
Yeah.
Try him again. Yeah, you got a good opportunity here. Really good opportunity. Is there an auction date set on this or not yet?
Not yet. He hasn't even, that hasn't happened yet.
It's 2. I'll try one more time. All right, so we have time. That's the good thing. Obviously, we want to be quick with it. We don't want somebody else to snag it, but it's not on market, so that's a good sign. Nothing. All right. That's 3 on him. What I would do, Sam, is I would just try and figure out how much he wants in his pocket when it's all said and done. And that's kind of going to be the piece that determines what we could do on the deal. I would like to be no more than 10 grand in his pocket. If you did that, then we can get you this as a rental with no cash it's not going to come out of your pocket, right? So
No.
if we can get him 10 grand, if he's like, yeah, I'll take 10 grand in my pocket, then that's literally a free rental property for you. we could just do a rent to own, get the 10 grand from somebody else, and then you get the house.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable having that convo, just trying to figure out like, hey, yeah, we're still interested. Just trying to figure out how much after the mortgage is paid off, how much do you want to walk away with in your pocket? So that's kind of like what I want to get out of this guy. And then as far as like explaining the subject to, I mean, the next Zoom that I'm with you guys again is on Tuesday. So I could do that Tuesday afternoon. Or if you wanted to try and get it done sooner, it's such a hot opportunity. If you want to, let's do this. If you want to ping me, Sam, in the general chat tomorrow, I'll do this. I'll just do the phone call for you. Just DM me the address and the phone number. Ping me in the general chat. Be like, hey, Eric, I DM'd you. Can you call the sub too? And then I'll call him for you tomorrow and see if we can get him. We could do a 3-way call.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah.
We don't want to miss this because this is a really, really
Yeah,
good
that's what I was thinking.
opportunity.
It looked good for like the numbers and everything for sub 2.
Yeah, this is a great one. Really, as long as he's open to it, this is an awesome opportunity. Really good.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just ping me in the chat tomorrow and I'll do that for you. I got you.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. All right, guys. I do got to wrap it up. I got another meeting in just a few minutes here. You guys have Zoom with Terrell tomorrow, Monday. Then I'll be back with you guys Tuesday afternoon. So enjoy the evening, enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you guys then.
Love it. Thanks, Eric. Later.
For sure. All right, see you guys.